Previously on Moment of Balance.
I'm Pearl, this is my sister Peony. Oh my god, what happened here? They see the obviously dead guard on the ground.
I'm the one that started this. I owe them as much as you do.
I would say you've got two very capable people in your corner.
I'm not super comfortable trusting her.
Greetings, Chen.
Oh, this is Hanako. She's the one who helped you get out of the clutches of the Red Monsoons. We are earthbenders, but technically we use waterbending techniques, so...
In much the same way that the water flows, fire can flow too.
Congratulations, you can create your own fire now.
Sabi, I've come to very much enjoy your company.
I've never really been close to a lot of people.
Hanako leans in and gives Sabi a very quick peck on the cheek.
In the story, it's a few weeks past the incident at Kyoshi Island. We focus in on Republic City. We see kind of these stands on the newspapers, and the various newspaper companies have different headlines for what happened at Kyoshi. Some are calling it the bloodbath of the island. Greatly overemphasized the fighting and the usage of military personnel that was there, with a lot of kind of fear-mongering in terms of what could this be? What happened? Is your government telling you the truth? And then you have the less fantastical papers who are just saying, there was a little incident at Kyoshi. Someone got hurt, but everything's okay. Where it almost seems like, someone tripped and fell. So there's all these mixed stories going around, and at first it caused a bit of a hullabaloo. Everyone was talking about, but by now it's something that people are aware of, but have really pushed to the back of their minds. They're going back there every day. Especially as, since those few weeks from Kyoshi, summer has fully hit Republic City, and it is hot. You see people on fire escapes trying to escape the heat. You see waterbenders by clean sources of water, getting water out of wells or rivers or nearby sinks, letting children and people cool off in the breezes. You see people with fans, people buying icy treats, like starting to wear lesser wares, but a sheen of sweat is a common occurrence these days. Hanako, since these past couple of weeks, what have you been up to? And how are you beating the heat?
I mean, I think first thing after I got back, I would have wanted to go, meet up with the United Republic officials and everything, get all of that settled down, see how, my performance was being evaluated given what a disaster it was. But past that, I think it's been a lot of, anxiously waiting to hear back from the United Republic. I don't think they've told Hanako if they're going to continue seeking her work in the future yet.
I fully agree with that. I think you're in one of those we'll be in touch stages. Like, I'm sure Fuzhou also is there. Put in a good word, and provided an authoritative, trusted stance on what happened, and was definitely in favor of you. But you're certainly in the we'll get in touch. Bureaucratic red tape takes a while to get back to you.
Yeah. Which, given how everything went down, is a monstrously stressful place to be. And so between that and the fact that I'm not sure if Hanako and Sabi have had time to talk yet since she got back, because Hanako, Chong would note, has been looking for Sabi quite a bit. So yeah, I think today she is just in the apartment with a window open, fanning herself, a basin of water and a rag next to her to, put across her forehead, just anxiously fiddling with the fan.
I think what's also not helping is that Chong has also been absent a lot these couple of weeks since you've been back from Kyoshi. It turns out, once you returned from Kyoshi, this old Fire Nation general had passed away, and his son, in his inheritance, found this old bunker with all these old air temple treasures and such
Oh,
from the
fuck.
100-Year War. And the Fire Nation, particularly with Fire Lord Izumi, wanting peaceful relations. And let's be honest, possibly a little, we're sorry, please take these back.
Uh-huh.
Sorry for doing a genocide. Woo.
Sorry our official blew up the harbor. We're fine, we promise.
Yeah, so in favor of, politics and, public eye and whatnot, Chong and the Air Nation nomads have been going back from Crescent Island, which is the closest Fire Nation island to Republic City, to transport these artifacts to the temple to then decide how they should be allocated, and of course to review them, see their value, see where they might belong to, and of course validate them. Like, are they actually Air Temple artifacts, or is it a fake, or who knows? This guy could have just been a collector. So you have not been seeing Chong. I think Zopa's also been hit or miss. Like, sometimes, I think for longer trips, Chong takes Zopa with him. So you've been left alone with your thoughts, with this.
Horrible, awful, worst day of Hanako's life.
So I think Chong is still away. If anything, Chong is like on a 2-month mission right now, like helping with this Crescent Island stuff. So you have the whole apartment to yourself. Sabi, tell us a little bit about you. What have you been doing today?
All right. Sabi, who's been absent for a little while. And for our listeners, to get physical description stuff out of the way, is going to be wearing a slightly different outfit. I'm putting her in this long, sort of reddish coat with a white blouse underneath, and the same boots she's been wearing for the past, 10 years.
And I'm sure that coat is great during a heat wave.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
It is super appropriate for the weather.
Sabi making choices.
But also, Sabi carries firearms everywhere, and concealment is sometimes more important than comfort.
I do like this idea, though, that Sabi's just walking through the streets and everyone's giving Sabi kind of a weird look because they're like, why is this woman wearing
It's
a
a
coat?
style. It's a Republic City style. It's a very Republic City outfit.
Does it look like a light coat, or is it look like a coat you'd wear in winter?
It's like a trench coat. It would be appropriate for the fall or spring, or when it's raining, maybe. Not really so much for the middle of the summer, but
Okay.
Yeah, so Sabi has been in her work for Asami. She was, during the one shot, was off basically reviewing accounting records and inventories and interviewing people. Like, her duties as Asami's head of security, PI, whatever, brought her into the fun world of sometimes detective work is reading a bunch of documents for hours. So she's been kind of bored out of her mind. And also, in her position at Future Industries, knows what happened on Kyoshi Island. That is information that Asami has shared with her in greater detail and more accurate detail than was shared with the general public. So I guess she's been kind of continuing to help in sort of shoring up what's going on with Future Industries, because one of the people on Kyoshi Island was posing as a member of another firearms manufacturer. So there's been a kind of a push to make sure that Future Industries doesn't have anyone working for them who's, a former member of Kuvira's army.
Yeah.
A former high-ranking Kuvira intelligence officer. So I'm guessing from how we're setting this up that Sabi has not had a chance to meet up with Hanako again yet.
Got you. So let's say it's been 2.5 weeks, and then a half.
Yeah,
week.
so Sabi was planning to go back to the city and has been somewhat delayed because of everything that happened. Maybe, I don't know, maybe took a quick detour down to Kyoshi Island for a little bit or something to sort of follow up on the aftermath.
Got you. Well, I'm thinking let's say it's 2.5 weeks since the Kyoshi Island situation. Like we said, there was a big thing of news. People were talking about it. Now it's kind of simmering. It's in the back of their minds. But like I said, they have more important things to do. People are just trudging along. Like I said, half a week into getting back, Chong got called for this, 2 to 3 month airbender mission to help with the airbending artifacts. Hanako, you've been alone for 2 weeks. No Zopa.
You know what? Actually, I do have... If Hanako's been totally alone for a while, she might have already reached out to Peony and Pearl.
That
to
is...
try and do something.
Okay.
I could see that.
She might actually be with them right now, unless that screws up your plans for how you wanted to get everyone together.
Oh, not at all. If they're all together, maybe you guys are at the aunt and uncle's, you're having lunch together. And
Are we... We're out getting some kind of food.
yes.
What weird ice cream are we getting?
You know that Korean shaved ice where they take a brick of ice and they put it in the machine and it shaves it and then they cover it with like sweetened condensed milk? That's what we're eating.
Absolutely.
Yes, perfect.
And
I forget what it's called, but I had it once in Japan and it's really good.
yes, and I think
Oh my god. Hey, Anna, do you want to tell the listeners who you're playing in this one shot?
Of course. In this one shot, I'll be playing not just one character, but two. I will be playing both Peony and Pearl.
so let's say Hanako, Peony and Pearl, and let's say Peony and Pearl's aunt are all out getting the shaved ice condensed milk thing. And maybe you guys are walking through a park and you're by a pond, enjoying the cool breeze that's coming off the pond, fanning yourselves, and you're all like in lighter clothes, and you're enjoying light, nice chit chat when Peony and Pearl's aunt says, sorry, I just realized I didn't come up with a voice for the character.
Remember, Earth Kingdom people are allowed to have a southern accent in this game.
Yes, that's a
I
thing
am
I've
leaning
established.
into that for next season, by the way.
Good.
So I think the aunt goes to you guys, goes like, oh, by the way, girls, did you get that invitation from your Auntie Nia yet to go to her cabin?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh, I knew I should have reached out to her. Every like now and then, your Auntie Nia down at Boulder Lake, she will invite you guys down to chill by her cabin. You guys didn't do it since you were young, now that I thinks about it, but with this heat wave, wouldn't it be good to get out of the city?
I mean, that sounds lovely. Now that I think about it, I feel like I haven't seen Auntie Nia in ages.
For the briefest moment, an expression crosses Hanako's face. And then she goes back to normal. I think you should go. That sounds lovely.
Well, actually, I was just thinking, Hanako, you've been so nice to the girls, and I know Auntie Nia's cabin's quite big. Why don't you join them, and why don't you bring your little excitable fella too? Little short guy, no hair.
Oh, you mean Chong?
Yeah, him. I think I actually talked to him yet, but he seems like he gets your guys pretty energized for things.
He's out of town at the moment, unfortunately, and it's a family situation, right? I wouldn't dare to impose.
Please, when the girls were little, they'd always invite over like one or two school friends of theirs, and you've been hanging out with them a lot, and I think you're almost like de facto family at this point. I mean, aside from us, we don't know anyone else in Republic City, and like I said, her cabin's quite big. When I send the letter, I'll just see like, hey, Beanie and Pearl are bringing over one of their friends. Or maybe you could invite that other girlfriend you got there. What's her name? The scary-looking one?
Sabi.
This time, Peony and Pearl get a look. They both look at each other and sort of, do that thing twins do where they have a language just through a look.
Mm-hmm.
Really up to you.
Hanako, ever observant, notes that and very diplomatically replies, I think it's their trip. If they would like to invite me, then I see no reason why I couldn't go.
Pearl goes up to you and is like, no, you should totally come. Not that we don't love every single one of our extended family, but like we just said, we haven't really seen our aunt in a long time, and if it's just us and her, we've gotten used to city living. We could use some of your excitement.
Ah, yes, it's just like my uncle Tokage, who mans the lizards. I haven't spoken to him in ages. I wouldn't know the first thing to say to him. Yes, of course, I'll come with you.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, the aunt gives you guys a big smile. I'm so happy to hear that. Auntie Nia is a wonderful lady. Girls, I know you haven't seen her since you were kids, but she's really warm and really loving, and she's been really making a good living as a painter up there. I'll give her a call later when we get back, and I'll get you guys ready for a trip next day tomorrow. And with that, she eats a big scoop of her ice cream, very satisfyingly. All right, so time skip. The aunt has made the call. You, Peony and Pearl, the next day are in a little cart traveling up to Boulder Lake. And this is actually, maybe not even kind of like this era's version of a bus is, because, Hanako, I think you're learning this because this is actually a pretty earthbender thing, or Earth Kingdom thing, I should really say. Boulder Lake is actually in our world, be kind of like Cape Cod, but in their world, and it's kind of like this really popular, really quaint vacation area. It's well known for having, this cute little town with these cutesy shops, like little gift shops and candy stores and whatnot. And it's well known for having these really nice cabins with these really nice beaches around this lake that it has a giant boulder in the middle. That's what you gather from the photos you see as you're getting onto the bus. It's just, that's why it's Boulder Lake. There's just a giant, mountain-sized boulder in the middle of this lake. And this place apparently is old as when the boundaries of the Earth Kingdom were made, so you kind of figured that the founders weren't very creative.
Yeah.
That's why it's just Boulder Lake.
So Peony and Pearl have been here before. So Hanako's turning like a fucking like a postcard or something over in her hand as we're on the way there, and turns to Peony and Pearl and is like, so did some powerful earthbender put the boulder there or something?
No, I think the boulder was just there. Peony butts in. No, wasn't there some legend about the great... I totally forget the dude's name. Some dude with the suffix "the Great" who built mountains. Some legend. But if it's a legend, then the boulder was probably just there, right? It's just a fairy tale. The two of them start bickering about the reality of what constitutes this boulder.
Hanako smiles and listens, eager to let the twins be some white noise to keep her mind occupied for a bit.
I'd say this for the rest of the ride. Rest of the passengers, pretty quiet. It's mostly, from what you can see, Earth Kingdom people, pretty normal. A lot of some families with kids, some young people, some older couples who look very sappy, excited to go on their little vacation. And you arrive at Boulder Lake. It's late afternoon. You arrive there. And Hanako, Peony Pearl. Oh my god. It looks just like the postcard. That is a big ass boulder! Holy crap!
It's even more impressive in person.
But it is idyllic. The waters of the lake are crystal clear, like a beautiful, sapphire blue. The beach sand looks so soft, this nice, almost shortbread cookie crumble texture, just that nice, the idea where it sinks in and it's not gritty. There's so much forestry around. And there's lots of like mountains in the background. Like the postcard didn't lie. This place is really idyllic. And not too far away from the lake, like maybe a mile off, is the quaintest little town you have ever seen. It has all these little like Earth Kingdom style like old shingle roofs that you don't see too often now anymore. And as you're looking around, you see in the crowd a big barrel woman. Like she's very rotund, she looks very friendly, very Earth Kingdom-y. She's really tall, like 6 foot. And she has her long brown hair like in a braid. And she has very soft, welcoming eyes. And she walks over to your little group and goes, "Well, I'll be Peony and Pearl. Come here, come give Auntie Nia the biggest hug."
Peony and Pearl drop their stuff and they run towards her.
She's big enough to take each of them in an arm and like give them like a big hug and goes, "Oh my goodness, you guys have grown so much bigger than I've last seen you. Oh, come here. Can I give you a kiss? Can I give you little kisses?"
Peony and Pearl sort of look at each other. So I've been imagining this whole time that Peony and Pearl are like 18. They're like young adults, but they're still adults. So like they give each other this like, I guess this is happening look.
I think the aunt sees this be like, "You know what? I'm sorry. I still think in my head, it's like last time I saw you guys were just little itty bitty things, like 7, 6. It's too long. Now, which one of you here is that Fire Nation gal you've been hanging out with, the Hanako?"
Hanako has been trailing just a bit behind, giving them some space to do the family reunion thing, but at that, steps forward and extends her hand and says, "Yes, that would be me."
She gives you a big old smile and gives you a warm, satisfying shake, being like, "Well, it is a pleasure. My sister-in-law gave me the biggest recommendation of you. You are a fine young woman."
I do my best. These two haven't exactly seen me at my finest all of the time, but I think it speaks to their character that they can see past it.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't difficult at all. These two are fine young women, aren't they?
I couldn't speak more highly of them myself. They've been a big help.
Aunt gives a big nod. Okay. Well, why don't we all head back to the cabin, get you guys unpacked, and then get whatever little beach time you guys get in while I get some supper ready.
Can I make a proposal for getting Sabi in here?
Oh, totally.
So, Hanako, you left like a vague note with the information about where you're going to be, right?
Just, hey, I'm going to be at this lake for a little bit. I'll be back soon. We'll talk then.
So, Sabi immediately upon reading that, like, packed a small bag and borrowed a Future Industries, like, vehicle and driver and said, like, "Hey, just take me to this place. Don't worry about it." I would like to venture that as you were going up to the house, you hear a vehicle approaching.
I love it.
Yes. Auntie Nia has been helping carry, I think it's actually carrying all of the luggage. She's big enough where, like, it's just all under one arm. She hears that, and, she puts the luggage down on her porch of her very nice lake cabin, I may add. And goes, "Now, what could that be?"
I think Hanako wasn't paying attention until it is pointed out by the aunt. Like, she heard the vehicle approach, but she was just like, "Not my problem right now. I'm on vacation," very pointedly ignoring it. But then the aunt asks about it, and she turns and sees that it's a Future Industries vehicle. And she cocks her head, and she says, "It might be for me?"
No, then you just got here. I mean, why would you, and I have to tell you, everything's very walkable. I don't really need a car.
Hanako shrugs and says, "If something important happened, they may have needed me." And she goes to walk off to the vehicle to see what the fuck is happening.
So, for the viewers who are not familiar, and possibly for Chrissy as well, the vehicles that Future Industries has are these, like, think like 1920s cars. They're very, like, Art Deco. I think this is probably one of the convertible ones with the top down, and so there's like a dude in the driver's seat wearing a little hat, perhaps of some kind, and in the back of the car you see a very familiar head of reddish brown hair.
Yeah, Hanako sees that.
The twins also see this.
Yeah. Hanako sees that and freezes. Looks to the twins, looks back to the car. Is Sabi getting out?
Yeah, so the vehicle
Okay.
stops. Sabi like steps out of the back of the car with like a small bag in her hand, like reaches out and like sort of pats the driver on the shoulder and says something to him that you can't hear. And then how far away are you from where this vehicle's pulling up? Hanako in particular.
I think I am like halfway between the vehicle and the house.
Give me a distance. Give me a rough distance.
Let's say that the vehicle pulled up kind of close to the house. It's like I'd say it's like 15 feet to Hanako, 15 feet to the twins, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Or is that too
close.
big?
No,
Okay,
that's
okay.
perfect. So you, as soon as Sabi steps away, and then like she takes a few steps toward you, and you see like something like realization click in her eyes, and then she drops the bag, runs toward you, Hanako, and is hugging you.
Oh boy. Hanako is like completely frozen for a moment. I think she put her bag down like on the porch of the house or whatever to come see what was going on. And so I think you wrap your arms around Hanako, and Hanako's arms go up into the air for a second, and she's not sure what to do with them. And then she wraps them around you back.
Oh my god, I heard what happened on the island. She kind of like lets go and like puts her hands on your shoulders and kind of like pushes you back to arm's length. Are you okay?
Yes, I am perfectly fine, I can assure you. You know I can handle myself.
She you see something in her eyes, like she just realizes what she did and like drops her hands immediately. And then she looks over and notices Peony and Pearl standing there.
Peony and Pearl are whispering amongst each other. Did Hanako tell you about this? Hanako didn't mention anything about this to me. What is happening? We did not approve of this. We did not ask about her. Hanako?
Yes?
Why is she here?
It was... I'm not sure. Why are you here?
I got your letter.
Yes, I said I'd be back soon.
You see Sabi's like face, kind of like the gears are turning, like she hadn't previously considered that the intent might not have been for her to come and find you.
Yeah. I think Hanako's gears are also turning, and she is realizing, oh, the way we used to communicate may not be effective anymore.
I thought, oh, I didn't know they were gonna be here, but I haven't seen you in like a month.
Hanako looks back and forth between you and the twins and says, I know, and believe me. And she, like, do you still have, like, your hand on Hanako's shoulder or something?
No,
or do
Sabi,
you,
like, dropped her
totally...
hands as soon as she, like, realized what she just did.
Hanako reaches out her hand and touches Sabi's shoulder and says, I missed you too. And I'm sorry I disappeared right as you got back.
No, it's fine. I was trying to get back to the city earlier, but everything that happened to you happened. Did you get my letter by any chance?
Hanako pulls it out of an interior shirt pocket.
Oh god. Sabi is turning pretty red seeing that.
She puts it back.
And does not say anything else. So the car is still like idling here this whole time. I can go back to the city if you need me to. I asked Asami for some time off, but I can. She's looking at Peony and Pearl kind of nervously.
Okay, I think the aunt's just out of hearing distance and she's been watching this, so I don't think she's heard anything that's going on.
Oh god!
Yep.
And I think she chooses now to go on. Well, I didn't know we were... What a treat! We get another guest! Howdy, I'm Nia Lynn. You can call me Auntie Nia. And she sticks out her hand up for Sabi.
As that happens, Sabi's like demeanor kind of changes, and she looks a lot like more put together, and holds out her hand to shake to shake Auntie Nia's hand. Sabi, ma'am, Chief Investigator for Future Industries. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Wow, that is quite a fancy title you got there.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm not here on official business. Don't need to worry about it.
Are you friends of my nieces as well? Like, we're just about to, have a bit of a, week stay here, like, with them.
I think Hanako and Sabi exchange a glance at that.
Yeah, yes. Man, I'm friends with Hanako. I've met your nieces previously.
Well, that's lovely. Listen, we got lots of room in the cabin, and if we're all friendly here, why don't you stay as well?
Hanako looks wildly to the twins.
The twins look back at Hanako, kind of hoping Hanako will jump in, because the thing is, like, they're friendly with this aunt, but they haven't seen this aunt since they were like 7.
Yeah.
So they don't really feel comfortable butting in and being like, hey, this woman shot someone in front of us.
A thing that is not public knowledge.
Yeah.
Plus, I want to note that I think this is one of the few people that, like, towers over Sabi as well. This is like the most intimidating friendly woman.
Is she like beefy?
I would say
she
she's
could
a mix.
carry all those bags under one arm.
She's a sturdy woman.
Like a Finnish peasant woman.
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah.
Literally!
So, all of this nonsense is happening, and I think Hanako, as after exchanging a bunch of glances with a bunch of people, kind of clears her throat and steps between Sabi and the aunt to just sort of break her focus and interrupt the hospitality. While we appreciate the offer, I'm not certain that is the best idea.
Oh, does your friend have other business to attend to? I thought they just, coming out here is a bit of a trip, so there's not like a lot of tech out here. Unless, of course, they have like business things to take care of. I mean, I don't want to be, gopher in anyone's business, digging around.
I think in the course of this conversation, like as you're hashing this out, the driver has decided that this is probably fine and has turned and left.
Oh no! Oh no! No!
I love that. Yes,
and is now like out of hearing range down the road.
Hanako takes a deep breath, just the deepest breath. She needs a second, and she doesn't have one because this lady is gonna start talking while she's trying to compose herself.
Looks like your guy there's in a little bit of a hurry. And I gotta tell you, the last bus just came in. You guys were on the last bus that comes and leaves from Boulder Lake back to, I assume you're from Republic City, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Are, yes.
Well, listen, I understand if you can't stay the whole week. You sound like with that fancy title of yours, you sounds like you, do a lot of important things and a lot of important times and whatnot. But why don't you at least, stay for dinner, stay for the night? The bus will start again in the late morning. Enjoy a little bit of peace, or at least the cool weather. I know it's been very hot lately.
Hanako has finished collecting herself and says, "Your offer is very gracious. If you don't mind, could you give us a moment?"
Well, of course. I'll come I'll go put in the luggage and get your room set up.
Much appreciated.
See you in 2 flicks of an artist's tail. And she walks inside with the luggage and closes the door.
Sabi,
Yes,
Stand right there.
I can do that.
Hanako nods and walks over to the twins. You have to understand that this is some sort of misunderstanding. I did not plan this.
How did this even happen?
I left a note for her, telling her...
Wait. I have a way to make this worse.
Make it worse.
You left a note that gave vague information about where you were. Sabi used her resources
Ugh.
and like deductive problem solving to figure out where the address was. You gave like enough of a description that she could figure it out, but like you didn't actually specifically list the address.
Yeah. And I think Hanako is still processing everything. And so she's doing it in real time as she's talking to the twins, and she's saying, I left a note for Sabi to find, that I would be here at the lake, and that I would be back soon, and I'm not sure. I didn't tell her where the house was, and then Hanako realizes that this is not a thing that is to be said out loud, and she just kind of trails off.
Great. So your gun nut bestie's also a stalker. I guess she has to have somewhere to stay the night. Ugh. Does she have her guns on her?
We can solve that if she does.
I'd really like her to not have her guns on her.
I can make that happen. You can stand here and watch while I make that happen. Deal?
Okay. Okay, fine.
I am so sorry. And Hanako walks back to Sabi. Sabi,
Yeah,
do you have your guns?
I do. She pulls back her coat to show that.
Hanako holds out her hand and gives you a look that makes it clear that there will be no debate in this matter.
Sabi immediately like takes out the guns and like reverses them and hands them to Hanako, like butt first.
Hanako takes them, and Hanako walks over to Pearl and says, if you don't mind, come right over here. And she taps a spot on the ground a short distance away from the house and says, will here suffice?
I guess so.
Unless you'd like me to dig, do you mind?
Of course. And yeah, Pearl basically just grabs a clod of earth, rips it out, creates a hole that's deep enough to bury those guns, and she catches a glimpse of the color of the guns, looks at Sabi, looks at you, Hanako. How the absolute fuck did you get platinum guns?
They were from Varric, who, I will remind you, Sabi was instrumental in helping us bring down. And then she puts the guns into the hole.
Pearl covers them up. I'll take your word for it.
All right. Now that this is taken care of, would you mind giving me a moment to speak with Sabi? It's been almost a month since we've spoken last, and I think we have some things we need to talk about.
Fine. You guys talk. But I have been dying to hit that beach since we got here, so you guys better be quick. We're gonna change into our bathing suits. 15 minutes, we're hitting the beach.
Hanako holds her hands up and says, if you end up going without me, so be it. I promise I'll be there as soon as I can.
The two nod, and they run into the cabin.
Hanako takes one more deep breath, and then turns to Sabi, her face perfectly level.
I am so sorry. I did not know that this was their cabin. I wouldn't have come if I did.
Hanako holds up her hand. I should have been clearer.
No,
How much do you know about what happened on Kyoshi Island?
I'm Asami's chief investigator, so basically everything. She gave me a briefing on it once everything happened and once she started to get information back. Are you sure you're okay? Those were bad people that you went up against.
And the people I've gone up against before haven't been bad people?
Okay, that's a good point. I should have been there.
Sabi, I won't lie that your skill set is something that I've grown accustomed to having at my disposal. No. Hanako looks like the gears are turning in her head. I like having you around. But we handled it, and the incident at Kyoshi Island could have been much worse. It could have been better, but it could have been much, much worse.
Yeah, no, I know.
I've been thinking ever since I got your letter. I don't know that my thoughts have worked themselves out yet. Between...
Sabi looks kind of like, she's like furrowing her brow and looks concerned.
Between the island and your letter, there's just been... There was a girl there. Major Adler. I assume you read about her.
I read the file on her. I know... I don't know who she is, but I know... I mean, as much as any of you do.
I'm going to say something that might come off wrong. She reminded me a lot of you.
What do you mean by that?
She was dedicated to her cause. She thought that she was doing the right thing, and her skills were, well, quite like yours. I really thought I'd have more time to just figure all of this out. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I didn't... Asami told me what you were doing, and I thought it was just going to be sitting around and listening to a bunch of people talk about trade and production allocation and stuff. I'm just glad that you're all okay. I'm glad things didn't go worse.
Hanako reaches up and pulls the letter out of her pocket and says, I'm glad too. And I wish that you were there to help us. I do. I want some time to think about this, but I don't want that to be scary.
No, it's fine. I guess I wanted to see you again, but I didn't really think about what would happen after that.
I wanted to see you again too. As soon as I got back to Republic City, I started looking. And you were away, and that was all right. I didn't want to bother you because I know that what you are up to with Future Industries is very important. And you left behind a lot of things to get that opportunity, and I didn't want to interfere with that.
I appreciate that.
I am happy you're here, despite how complicated everything is right now.
Yeah, I know why they feel the way they do, and I don't know. Sabi kind of like shifts nervously and crosses her arms.
Hanako looks uncomfortable, like there's a thing that she's trying to avoid saying. She takes a deep breath. There will be time for us to talk more about this when I get back to Republic City. I will have a decision made by then.
Yeah, I am.
And regardless, I want you to know that I'm not saying I'm going to stop talking to you or anything.
It's fine. I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I just missed you, and I kind of freaked out when I heard what happened.
I missed you too. Did I say that yet? I don't think I did. I missed you too, Sabi. Do you have a swimsuit?
I don't think I packed one. I'm not really big on the water in general. After what happened in Republic City, so I might just sit on the beach.
If that's what you'd like. And I think Hanako smiles and reaches out her hand to you.
Sabi takes her hand and squeezes it.
Hanako leads you inside.
All right. Yeah, Sabi got the bag and everything. It's a small bag. She didn't pack a lot.
Okay, so you guys go inside. I think Peony and Pearl are still changing. Auntie Nia is in the kitchen. You can see that she's preparing a big dinner. She's rolling out some dough. She looks like she's making some dumplings. She has a pot of something really good smelling cooking away, and she's wearing honestly this really, really small apron, one of those things that just cover your waist belly area. It looks like a napkin on her. It's very comically sized on her. And she sees you guys come in and goes, "Oh, so you both will be joining us tonight?"
Yeah, it looks that way.
I'm so happy to hear that. Here, why don't I show you guys off to your rooms so that way you guys can go change for the beach.
That would be lovely, thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.
Antonia's cabin is pretty spacious, actually. It's very tastefully furnished. You can tell she lives alone, though. Everything's very monotonely styled. One person had a decision in all of these things. And it's very cliche vacation beach cabin. There's a lot of earthbender, Boulder Lake gadgets around. There's a little saying on the wall that says, if you're not bouldering, you're not rollering. And
I love how nonsensical it is.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
It seems like something a stupid beach shop would have.
absolutely something a stupid beach shop would have. There's picture frames with shells decorating the frame on the wall. In the picture frame you do see actually a couple of very little Peony and Pearl doing beach things. You see with Auntie Nia in the back wearing harmonically kind of a 50s style bodysuit for the beach. And they're building sand castles together, or Nia's help in the water, showing them how to swim. It's very cute. And you see some pictures of Peony and Pearl's extended family, as well as Peony and Pearl's probably immediate family. And you also see a lot of her art. She does a lot of watercolor. All of the same freaking lake. It's just dozens of paintings at various times of day of Boulder Lake. Very beachy. Aside from that, she takes you up these stairs. You hear rustling from a room downstairs. You figure out that Peony and Pearl's room is on the first floor. And she's saying well, the girls and I will be staying on the first floor. Their rooms will be next to the kitchen. I'll be across the hall from them. I was thinking that you guys could be very comfortable up in here. And she opens the door to the master bedroom. And it's a very well-furnished room. You see that there's its own bathroom. There's big dressers, nice windows that look off to the lake. Very scenic. There's one bed.
Yep.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yep.
And there was only one bed.
I mean, she did see us holding hands when we walked in.
That is true.
She says, now, I did have a separate, smaller room prepared for, in case you guys needed, a little extra room for, in case that little, feller came, because he sounds, the bald one,
Chong,
yeah,
ma'am. Chong is his name.
It's a very forgettable name. I'm very sorry. Chong. It's odd. Chong. Ugh. I'm sure he's a very nice fella.
Hanako looks to Sabi and says, "If Chong shows up unannounced, I'm going to kill him."
I don't think he's coming.
I heard he was a little bit of a handful sometimes, from my aunt, because apparently, she saw him doing some, crazy bending things with air, and, I have a little smaller room. Granted, it's up in the attic, so it's a bit smaller, but it's, if you guys need separate rooms, that's okay, but I do think y'all be much more comfortable in this one if you're okay with sharing a bed.
Sabi kind of like glances at Hanako with this like help me look on her face.
Hanako glances at Sabi with a help me look on her face.
The aunt claps her hands. Tell you what, why don't y'all get ready for the beach, get comfy, and later tonight, if you come in here together, that's okay. If you go to separate rooms, that's okay. She gestures up like another little further set of steps to the attic. It's like it's available. Y'all have fun. And she clambers back down to the kitchen to get back to her cooking, leaving you two alone to make your own decisions.
I've had nights where I've slept in an alley, so I'm fine with the floor or whatever, honestly.
Sabi, you're not going to sleep on the floor. Sabi, the question isn't whether or not you get a bed. There's another bed upstairs. You know that, right?
That's a good point. I'm sorry. I'm fine with the bed upstairs. I don't need a lot.
Yes, okay. If you're certain, I wouldn't... Of course.
I have never been less certain about anything before in my life.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page. And then Hanako picks up her bag and walks into the room.
Sabi follows right after her.
I mean, Hanako's like putting the bag on the bed and digging through for her clothes. She's gonna get changed.
Okay, yeah, I think Sabi isn't really gonna change because she's not.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have a lot of clothes. She's gonna take off her coat and take off her gun belt.
I like the idea that this is Sabi's beach look. No coat. No gun belt.
She's just wearing like a white like blouse, basically.
This is
tucked into her
relaxed.
pants.
I assume you'll probably take your boots off when you're by the sand as well. So you'd be like just
Probably, yeah.
long pants and a... I'm curious, is your blouse sleeveless or is it long sleeved?
It's long sleeved.
Okay. Ooh.
She's rolled up the sleeves. Think like very like Katharine Hepburn.
Ooh,
look.
yeah, I like it.
We'll say there's like a dressing screen in the room.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that we don't have to address that as an issue.
Well,
It's been awkward enough
I did
already.
say I did
Yeah.
say there was a bathroom in the room. You could go change in the bathroom.
True. Either or, whatever.
Maybe there's the option of either, and you chose the dressing screen because old habits die hard.
No, I like this. We're gonna make this worse at every possible opportunity.
Yeah. Hanako's behind the dressing screen and is not thinking too hard about this because she is used to having people attending to her while she is getting dressed. So this is fine. She gets back there, starts changing into her swimsuit, and is like, "So, you're obviously welcome to come down to the beach. I think the twins extended that as an invitation to you in the previous conversation. If they start making you uncomfortable, you're welcome to come back here."
I'm more worried that I make them uncomfortable, to be perfectly honest with you. But yes, I will go to the beach with you.
Well, maybe they can become slightly less uncomfortable tonight.
I would say that I've been through stranger things, but I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Hanako finishes getting dressed, and there's an episode where we see some Fire Nation swimsuits in the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't there?
Each episode.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a beach episode. Yeah,
Yeah,
Azula has a
it's an
swimsuit in this
Uh-huh.
episode.
Yeah.
She's wearing a swimsuit that looks conspicuously like Azula's swimsuit from that episode.
I'm gonna Google the suit quick. I may have forgotten what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's hot as hell.
So you step out of the screen in that, and Sabi like raises an eyebrow and turns very red, and then kind of like turns away.
Just as you finish, Peony and Pearl start banging on your door. Hanako, it's been 15 minutes.
I'm
coming?
coming right out. And Hanako nods to Sabi and starts going.
All right, Sabi's gonna follow right after her.
Heading to the beach.
All four of you are walking to the beach together, and it's, like I said, it's kind of like late afternoon, so it's no longer like the hottest point in the day, but it's still, you still got a while until evening, and it is bright and beautiful. Like, there's shimmers on the lake. The beach, it has some people, but it's not crowded, so it's very easy for you guys to find a little spot for yourselves. There's some beach games set up, like there is volleyball if you guys want to do that. There's little kind of Earth Nation like paddle ball where if you can like take a rock between two wooden paddles and hit it between each other, and whoever breaks the paddle first loses. There's of course swimming. I think you guys notice around you that in this particular section you notice that there's not that many people on your side. It makes sense, though, because there's only, Auntie Nia's cabin and, like, maybe one or two that you guys can see. Like, the neighbors are spread pretty far, at least in this part. And your closest neighbors you see is kind of this older nanny-looking lady who's holding an umbrella. And she's watching over these two pretty much kids. One of them seems to be a 14-year-old girl. She's, in her little... And they're in kind of Fire Nation-style suits as well, which is a little odd, but not unheard of, with Lord Izumi's wishes for the Fire Nation to collaborate more with the other nations. She has been pushing travel to help educate the people. So, seeing Fire Nation people out in places, especially a popular vacation place like Boulder Lake.
Anybody, I mean, I assume not, but anybody that I happen to recognize?
You only see immediately these two kids. They're too young. You wouldn't know. One of them's a 14-year-old girl. She is very much not going in the water. She's sitting on a blanket. She has sunglasses on. Her towel's wrapped around her like a little hut. She has just a normal ass cat, which I'm sure after seeing Zopa is like shocking.
Beach cat!
It is a beach cat, and it's lying in a little puddle of sun, just loving it. And she's reading a book. And you see this little 7-year-old in little like shorts, and he's just having the time of his life, splashing around in the water. He's like, yeah, like kicking around and whatnot. And you notice that he has like this beetle flying around him that you, Hanako, recognize is a bark beetle. And you're surprised because that's kind of a rare insect nowadays, because Lamech Island is the only place those beetles are from, and Lamech Island hasn't been doing so hot because of recent weather. It's not like illegal to have a beetle, but it'd be like the equivalent of one of us owning a rarer type of a snake from the Amazon. Like, not illegal, but pretty hard to find.
Traveling with animals is expensive. I mean, importing Azula was an entire headache on its own.
Yeah.
Yes, but these are like small pets. They can go on your lap when you go on a trip. And on the bus, you probably noted that there were, a bunch of people bringing family pets with them of various sizes that could fit on a bus, I should say. But or like either like they come from a pretty wealthy background, or maybe they come from a place that's really close to the island. It's hard to say. But they're off doing their own thing and won't interact with you unless you reached out to them. Yes, you're in your little beach area. What do each of you do?
On the subject of Azula, she curls up in the sand to bask in the sunlight, right around the area that Hanako's gonna set up her towel for Sabi to chill out on.
Nice.
So you've got like a lizard to lean back up against.
Nice.
It's sort of a makeshift beach chair.
Yeah, Sabi's just gonna like sit down and lean against Azula.
Peony and Pearl beckon Hanako over.
Yeah, Hanako will go over to them.
Hey, so we're gonna practice some sand bending. You wanna watch?
Hanako's eyes light up. I was curious about this, actually.
It's been ages since we've been around sand. Peony grabs a basically like an orb of sand. And
Mhm.
as the twins are wont to do, she looks really like she's treating it like water, like it's waterbending form.
Yeah.
And she streams this sand over to Pearl, who grabs the orb and sort of swirls it around and swishes it back and forth and tosses it up in the air and whatnot. We used to do this all the time back in Wenhua Village, but, it's not like there's much sand in Republic City to practice with. Don't want to get rusty.
You've got to take the opportunity when you have it.
Yeah.
Hanako is like watching, and she's not sure what she's doing. She's not sure what she's cooking with this, but she is like mimicking the movements. She doesn't know what that'll do, or if it'll do anything. She's not really firebending, just like getting a sense for how it goes, you know?
When we're done with this trip, you really only have a couple weeks left in the city. We gotta head back to the village for the fall harvest and all that.
Ugh. That... I'm going to miss having you around, you know?
Well, you did say that you'd come visit us, right?
Of course. A promise that I will uphold.
Not like Wenhua is gonna be anything like Republic City, or even like here. It is very, very remote.
I'm sure... I am becoming aware that as a person who grew up the way that I did, there are things that I can say that will come off a certain way.
Go ahead, hit me.
I'm sure it will have its own charm.
Yeah, no, you're right. That does come across a certain way.
I'm sure it will be nice.
Peony gets the stream of sand back and sort of blows, sends a little bit of sand in your direction to push you back a little bit.
Yes, okay, I deserve that. Hanako's, brushing the sand off, and she looks towards the water, and she, kind of squints at it. And, I think the twins can tell something's in her head, but she, shakes her head and gets back to them as soon as they start talking again.
Then they sort of start talking amongst themselves. Pearl says to Peony, "It's kind of weird being here, isn't it? We haven't seen Auntie Nia since Dad died." And Peony is like, "Yeah, it's like she didn't want anything to do with us. Why is she suddenly inviting us to the beach? It's been ages."
That is interesting.
I don't know, maybe she just feels guilty that she sort of checked out after he died while Chien was, there for us and everything.
It's possible. I have a history with family, but I'm certain that she is well-intentioned.
I mean, doesn't seem like there's anything malicious going on, but I don't know, can't help but hold a little bit of, not resentment, just discomfort when her own brother died and she didn't do anything to help the family. Seems like she's pretty happy here, pretty happy with her painting and everything, but I don't know, we barely know her.
People mourn in their own ways. Maybe she's just trying to come out of her shell?
Yeah, could be.
I think Hanako looks like she's not convinced by her own argument.
The two of them, now covered in sand, look at the water, look at each other, look at you, Hanako. Race you to the beach?
Yeah, let's go. Hanako pauses long enough, just a beat long enough for them to start running before she does.
Yeah, the three of us dive into the water.
It feels amazing. It is not too hot, not too cool. It's so clear you can see every little pebble below. You could see, your foot as clear as though it were walking on sand. Do you guys go really deep in, or do you just go a certain distance?
Hanako, I mean, I can't speak for the twins, but I think Hanako is kind of hanging back towards the shore. But she is, like, kind of gazing out at the deeper water. She seems a little bit transfixed by the water here.
Actually, silly question. Does Hanako know how to swim? Grant, no, the Fire Nation's islands, you know how to swim.
Hanako was in the Navy. She knows how to swim.
Yeah, absolutely. Hanako 100% knows how to swim. It's not that she's afraid of going into the deeper water necessarily. She's looking, and there is clearly something working through in her head, and she's not sure what it is yet, but there's just something different about being in water now that has never been the case before, because she has not really been swimming since she figured out bending.
Very reasonable.
The twins do go in a little deeper. They are from a fishing village, basically. Village known for fishing and rice farming. And so they're comfortable with water. They swim all the time.
Gotcha. Would you guys say you do this until dinner time?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a couple of times where the twins are like doing their thing, playing around, swimming. They're kind of like I imagine like almost orbiting Hanako in a way, right? And Hanako is periodically snapped out of whatever funk she's in whenever they call to her.
Will
but-
occasionally splash you.
Yeah. And she'll splash back 100%. Like she has moments of engaging more fully. But she's not there the whole time.
Got you. And what about Sabi?
Sabi has fallen asleep leaning against Azula. She is knocked out.
It's quite sunny. Does Sabi get sunburnt?
Probably, but let's say that she's shaded somehow.
I got it. There's the saddle, right?
Mm.
With,
Yeah.
like, the two little side saddles sticking out. Right? So Sabi leaning up against Azula with the saddle shading her.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so you play on the beach like this until sun starts to set. And when the sun starts to set, Auntie Nia calls you all in for dinner. And let's say you all come in, you've all, cleaned off, changed into evening clothes, and she's laid out this big spread of there's like soup, dumplings, a wide variety, and plenty for everyone. And I think you guys are all having, pleasant dinner conversation. You talked a little bit about the beach, you talk a little bit about the area, etc. And you guys hear a knocking at the door. By now, nightfall, and I think you guys have just around finished up dinner. And Auntie Nia goes, now I wonder, I swear to God, if you guys have another little friend coming up.
Hanako turns to Sabi and says, I said I'd kill him. I said I would.
There's no way. There's no way it's gonna be him.
Hanako snaps her fingers and there is a tiny flame at her finger. Just a tiny one. Just a very small one, but she's watching that door.
Anthony is smiling. She walks over to the door and opens it. And outside the door is the little boy you saw earlier on the beach.
Puts the fire away.
And he's alone, and he's out of his bathing suit, he's in normal clothes, and you could see that he has been crying, and his face is tear-strained. And Auntie Nia, looks at him in concern and goes like, "Oh, little Benji, what's wrong? Are you okay?" And Benji, says, like, hiccuping, it's like, Auntie Nia! He's like, "Oh, Benji, come on in, what's wrong, baby?" And she brings him in, and she, brings him over to, one of the chairs, being like, Benji, what are you doing here? He goes, I lost my Beetle. And she goes, oh, I told you to keep a close eye on that. Like, where's your sister? Where's your nanny? Don't they? It's like, they're helping to go look, but he's been gone since dinner. What if he's gone forever? It's like, my mommy gave me that Beetle. goes like, no, don't you worry. Look, let's go find your nanny. Let's go find your sister, and I'm sure we'll be able to help with what's going on here. Okay? And Benji in the meantime, she looks around, and on the counter is like a jar of sweets. She opens it and he's like, here, have a boulder lolly. It's literally just hot candy on a stick. That's kind of like the shape of the boulder in the lake.
Oh my god.
And Benji's like, okay, thank you, Auntie Nia. And he's crying and he puts the lolly in his mouth and he's just kind of like a muffled.
Hanako turns to the rest of the people at the table as they leave the room. Now, it's none of my business, necessarily, but maybe it is fortuitous that... Sabi, what was your title again?
I'm currently Future Industries chief investigator.
Maybe it is fortuitous that Future Industries chief investigator is here while something has gone missing, yes?
I guess? Are you certified to look for rare beetles?
I don't think anyone is certified for that.
Do whatever you want, I guess.
If the two of you don't think it's any of our business to go looking, then we don't need to.
I mean, you can go if you want. I mean, looks like our aunt knows little Benji pretty well. Make her happy.
Yes, that's... Those two Fire Nation children, they don't seem to be supervised.
Guess they have a nanny? I'm not sure why they're here. I've never seen them. Well, then again, we haven't been here in what, 11 years? Yeah, we wouldn't have known these kids. So yeah, we don't know what's up.
Sabi, should I tell them?
I'm sorry, tell them what?
I don't want to alarm you two, but he did call your aunt Auntie.
I just sort of assumed that he did that because she's like, I don't know, the big friendly auntie of the town? I don't know. People call older women auntie all the time. You think there's something more about this?
In defense of Auntie Nia, she did tell both Sabi and Hanako to call her Auntie.
Hanako shrugs. You're probably right.
I mean, if we want to poke around my family history, sure. I don't know.
I'm just saying, it's clear that she has some sort of relationship with them. It's worth asking about, at the very least.
Sabi, while this conversation is happening, is kind of sitting back and has put a hand up on her face and is thinking.
It wouldn't strike me as odd if they were otherwise supervised.
I guess. I mean, you do have you know Fire Nation parenting styles, I assume, right? So is that weird for the Fire Nation to have two kids unsupervised with a nanny?
It depends on how much money they come from, to be frank.
No, that makes sense, because it would be weird if our parents had done that, but, we are not from your bizarre rich person world. I guess there might be something to worry about if they're not rich?
I'll tell you what. Since I proposed this problem, I'll go fix it. And Hanako stands up and goes to start walking off towards where the aunt took the kid.
Yes, I think while you guys were having this conversation, the aunt, while the kid had the lolly in his mouth and was, eating it, had taken him out the door and was leading him to the cabin nearest to you guys, which I'd say is, yes, because I'm thinking with a vacation house, you want a good amount of distance from your neighbors. Yeah. Anyway, let's say it's a 10-minute walk over, and you see it. It's the house. Look from the outside, looks identical to Auntie Nia's house.
Does it look like she's already got the kid, like, calmed down?
Kid's calmed down. Turns out boulder lollies do the trick for this kid. Like he's calm again. And but he still looks sad. And I think, has she noticed that you're following her?
I'll come to the door, see them walking away, and shout after them. Miss Nia?
Oh, hey, Hanako. It's okay. I got it with Benji. You guys can stay behind if you like, but I mean, if you want to come, you can. Beetle in the dark.
Of course, if I may for just a moment, and Hanako will, follow up behind.
Oh, that's very nice of you, Miss Hanako. Thank you so much.
Of course. I was curious if I could speak with Benji, was it?
Benji looks up at you and goes, yeah?
Hello, Benji. My name's Hanako. Hanako looks down to her. She's changed out of her swimsuit and into her Earth Kingdom dress, which is one of the lighter garments that she owns. I may not look it, but, I came from the Fire Nation just like you.
Benji looks you up and down and goes, wee?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you just notice he's missing some teeth, like, baby teeth, so he's gonna talk a little funny now and again.
I point to where I imagine there's like a hitching post nearby the house or something where I've put Azula. She's like curled up on the ground, like is huddled up next to the house, kind of trying to like. She's too big, but she's trying to work her way under it, like a lizard will do to try to stuff itself up under a rock to sleep, right?
Yeah.
That's my lizard over there. Have you ever seen one of those before?
Benji's eyes go big. He's like, oh yeah, I have. My daddy has one back home.
Oh really? My uncle breeds them. He's given them out to a number of my family members.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to go say hi?
He nods enthusiastically. He's very excited to meet this lizard
Okay.
thing.
I think this might be a good moment to ask. Can I roll one of my heritage moves, cultural bonds? When you try to connect with an NPC via a shared culture, roll with heritage.
Totally.
That's an 8. And what I'd like to pick is they accept you, they cease hostilities or antagonism towards you, and I'd like to sort of bend this a little bit to be like, this kid is chilled out now.
You know what? I accept it. I think Benji, his sadness has been replaced with excitement for Azula. He toddler for smiling now, and he goes, "Oh wow, it looks so cool."
She's very strong. She's a good friend of mine. Her name is Azula.
Can I pet her?
Of course.
He sticks out his hand tentatively for Azula to sniff, kind of like like you do with a dog or cat. You suspect she probably learned this from his sister's cat.
Azula, being a lizard, puts her snout up to his fingers and then just sticks her tongue out to touch it to his fingertips.
Benji's eyes are glowing. He's like, ooh, oh. And you realize you might have just ruined this kid's parents' lives because he's going to want lizard as soon as he gets back.
I'm showing him how to pet her safely, making sure that he's aware of the sort of third eye that she has on her forehead and telling him not to, get near it or else she'll freak out because she'll think she's being, attacked by a bird or something.
With your role, he's following your instructions to a T. This kid thinks you're like the coolest thing ever now. Most of the things you ask him, he will answer honestly, or at least as well as a 7-year-old kid who's probably past his bedtime will do.
Now, Benji.
Is Benji still petting the Zula?
Mm-hmm. Did you have a last name, Benji?
Benji will have a last name very shortly.
Sure. I think if the important question is, does Hanako recognize Benji's last name?
My daddy's last name is Zan, and my mommy's last name is Osa. And unfortunately for you, Hanako, you recognize those names, but those are two of the most common last names in both of those nations.
Yep.
So,
So this
this
is
could be
completely
it's
unhelpful.
completely unhelpful. Yeah, it could be anybody. But I think you're thinking back on families that you know who have children of this age, and I don't think there's anyone immediately, or at least immediately important to your circle that you think of who has kids. So you doubt they're in your mother's circles.
Sure. That's good, at least.
But outside of those, this could be anyone.
Hanako is going to say, so I heard that you said that your beetle went missing?
I think his lip starts to quiver a little bit, because now he's reminded that he lost his
Yeah,
beetle.
I know.
And he just nods.
Now, my friend her job is to look for things. So, I think maybe we might be able to help a little bit. Where were you when you saw your beetle last?
Benji's lip has stopped quivering. He does sniff a little bit, like that kid's like where they do like that. And he goes, I was playing outside, and then
Take your time. I know.
my sister and I were outside and we were playing, and I had my beetle with me, and my sister had her cat, you, who's usually a pretty nice kitty, and Mrs. Non told us to come in for dinner, and we all went inside, and then I before dinner I was sleepy and I took a nap, and I always take my beetle with me. But I had the window open while I was napping, and Nanny and Mrs. Non told me not to do that, but I did it anyway because it was so nice today. And when I woke up, my beetle was gone, and I thought, oh, maybe he's in the room, because sometimes he hides in the room. So I went down and I ate dinner, and then Mrs. Non took me up to bed, and as I looked in my room, my beetle didn't come back out. I think he flew through the window. Or what if someone took him through the window? I miss my beetle.
That's okay. We'll try to help you find your beetle, okay?
My mommy gave me that beetle. He hasn't been too well lately.
He hasn't?
Mommy's been in hospital for a while.
I'm sorry to hear that.
My sister and I were here while she gets better, and beetle was the last thing that she gave me the beetle before she got sick.
Well, it's that much more important that we find it then. Hanako stands up and says, I imagine that the girl's aunt is still out here watching us or something. Or did she go looking?
Auntie Nia's been with you guys the whole time, because don't get me wrong, she likes you, but the kid came to her for help. She's not going to leave the kid alone. So she's there, and I think she's been keeping Benji's been crying. She's put a comforting hand on her, and as Benji unfortunately goes back in the tears, having told this, with his mom being sick, I think Auntie Nia brings him into a big hug, and and goes like, "There, little fella, it's okay. Let it all out. We'll find him. Don't you worry."
All right. And I think Hanako will, in that case, say, I'm going to go in and tell my friends, and we're going to see what we can do, all right? I'm sure getting some more hands on deck will be helpful. And then we're going to cut to what I'm sure is a lovely scene, because Hanako absolutely did not think about who she was leaving alone.
Yes.
Okay, so as time passes, Sabi is gonna get up and you said there were like photographs around the house, right?
Yes, of Peony and Pearl's family and such.
Sabi's just gonna kind of like look around at the decor. Do I see any kind of like are there any there's like pictures, are there any with like the kids that we saw at the beach in them or anything like that?
No, you only see pictures of. You don't see any Fire Nation people in any of the photos. It's all mostly Earthbender, maybe like a few water here and there, but it's you don't see those two kids at all.
Okay. That extends to like the paintings and everything too. There's no like people in the paintings.
No, it's all the exact same scene you can see right outside her cabin, painted at different times of the day. If anything, if you made like a little flip book, you could probably see like the sunrise and set with the moon and stars.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sabi's just kind of like looking around at this stuff.
Peony and Pearl are watching you as you do it. Peony says, "Don't mess up anything.
I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm just looking.
Just being sure. Why are you here?"
I was going to see someone that I care about that I haven't seen for about a month, and I didn't know that this was your family's house, or I probably wouldn't have showed up.
What are you looking at anyway?
I'm just looking at the paintings and the photos. I'm just looking. I'm just waiting for Hanako to come back in.
And it's just like this the entire time. It's just
Pearl pipes up. You know, I still get nightmares about that day.
You and me both. She's very pointedly not looking at Peony and Pearl.
Glad to know you have some semblance of remorse.
I think, Sabi, while you're looking at these photos, one thing you distinctly notice is there's this man in a lot of these photos who it's like a spitting image of the twins, like in man form. He appears in a lot of the photos when the twins are younger, then all of a sudden, when they reach a certain age, he stops showing up. You see all the other family members.
Did I ever see? I ran into their uncle, right?
Ran into the uncle.
Is this guy their uncle?
You don't know. You think it's their uncle, but you also think it might be their dad, just with how close a resemblance he is.
Okay, so he looks like he could be the uncle, but maybe not.
I don't think he looks like. What's the uncle's name, Anna?
Qian.
It looks like he could be related Qian. Could be. I think there's a photo with Qian and this guy together, so you know it's not Qian.
Okay, cool. So it's definitely a separate person.
Also, I think notice that there's a lot of photos that Auntie Nia's not in, and that gives you two ideas. Either she's the one taking the photograph, or she wasn't around for a lot of these, and she was sent the photos by other family members.
Are these photos that are at like the beach area? Are they all taken in the same place, or are they photos from like all over the place?
Photos from all over the place. Most of them are from the beach area, but like the ones that you see that aren't from the beach area, you notice it's kind of like almost like a family reunion photo, and you see, Anthony's in some of them, and then she's not in a lot of them.
So this stands out to Sabi enough that I think she wants to like try to kind of like see if there's any connecting threads to this that like makes sense, like if there's any pattern to any of this.
Okay, so you see you walked around a couple of times and you looked at these photos, and you've noticed that the photos, some of the photos that don't feature in them look older, saying like they were stored away. And you see it a bit in the photos that feature the twins as well. It looks as if these photos were stored like perhaps in the attic or a basement or someplace, like a place where they didn't get light for a while and then were taken back out. Possibly recently. At least this summer.
Is there any dust on the frames or anything that would indicate that they were taken out recently?
Yes, I think as you look closer at some of the dust, you see that, some of the dust, my God. You look at some of the frames, like in the corners, you see these little buildup of dust that she probably missed when wiping down. And particularly, it's the photos that feature the man. And it's the family photos. And you realize that it's connected with this guy that you weren't sure of, but you are pretty sure is the twins' dad. You're just like by counting off the family members and knowing the aunt and uncle and the little bit of digging you did to find this particular address and such, you've deduced that. And what you think was the case was that this guy probably died. And she put all these photos with him, hidden away, and someone was sending her these family reunion photos that she was not attending, probably the twins' aunt, and she was hiding those away as well. And something, you're not sure what, probably the twins' visit, she brought all these photos out, put on the
Yeah, no,
walls.
that's Sabi's working theory. Out of curiosity, so like Sabi was like did some basic like pulling up property records basically to find the address for this place. Did she happen to find out who the property is like owned by? Like whose name is it under? Is it under the aunt's name?
Yes. She bought this a long time ago. And you could tell that she, has been living here alone for a long time. Long story short, she brought these pictures out probably purposely for the twins. But until they came here, she has been hiding all these family photos.
That is information that Sabi is going to keep to herself for the time being.
I think while all this tension goes on, is there anything else, Sabi, that you want to investigate?
Actually, wait a minute. Sabi's going to look around at, having noticed this about the photos, she's going to look around at like the furniture and where things are placed and see if there's any indication that things were moved around recently or that the furniture looks like it had been sitting for a long time. And
Yeah, I think, honestly, yeah, I think it's the photos because those would be the sentimental things. The furniture itself, it just looks like furniture that she bought from one of the tourist stores.
it wasn't stored away, anything like that.
No, but I think you might notice, just looking at the cushions, that she definitely likes to sit in the same spot. There's one cushion that, kind of has, her imprint.
What is the view from that seat? What can you see?
You see the lake. And you see the very big, very, very, very big boulder.
Is it the same view that she's been painting constantly?
Yes.
Okay,
So
cool.
you suspect that's where she sits to paint. But you can also tell that she's probably not getting a lot of visitors. Like, if she's seeing people, she's leaving the cabin to do it. The rest of the cushions look pretty pristine.
Okay, so it looks like things haven't been like she doesn't. This house doesn't see a lot of traffic. Okay, cool.
I think even some of the photographs don't even have like the beachy theme. Like, it's clear that these were
Right.
kind of a last minute decision on her part, in your view.
All right. Yep. Nope. That's Sabi's just gonna kind of awkwardly walk around the room.
Pearl is going to stand up and basically walk over to where Sabi was looking with the intent to make sure she didn't, do anything. But then, she catches a glimpse of one of the old photos and her breath catches a little and she looks over at her sister. I really wish she didn't have all these out. I spent this whole time just in here looking at the family from a distance, not being part of it. Like, what was she even doing? And Peony looks over and it's like, having a lovely career as an artist away from the rest of us, I guess.
I was gonna suggest Hanako pops back in, notices the situation that she accidentally left the three of you to, and is like, if you all wanted to join me while looking, I don't want to impose anything necessarily, but I believe I have a couple of places we can start.
I would be happy to.
The twins pop up. They're like, yep, yeah, anything to get us out of this house. Yep. Where are you thinking?
So,
I think actually Auntie Nia, like before you said, comes in and goes like, "All right, I appreciate Hanako's go get him attitude on this. I too had to go get him on this. I did find Benji's nanny and his sister. They're all okay. They haven't found the beetle, but I had a little talk with them, and they say it's just too dang dark to find this thing. If it's out in the forest, which there's a lot of forest here, it's gonna be blended in with the bark or something. And plus, they're asleep during the night. It'll be much more active during the day. So I'm gonna say that for now, we all get ourselves a good night's rest. And anyone who wants to help with me with Benji's thing can come with me to town tomorrow to, wrestle up a little bit of looks and arounds there. I don't know, maybe someone's seen it. It's a big ass beetle, but Benji's okay. He's back home with his family. I'm gonna say that we calls it a night. I apologize if that was really not comprehensible. That was a very needy 7-year-old, let me tell you.
Hanako nods and says, "All right, yeah, that's a fair point. I am more tired than I thought I was. Let's go to bed."
Ms. Nia, do you need help clearing the table and doing the dishes by any chance?
Yeah, like,
Hanako, realizing that she has forgotten that this is a thing that normal people do and need help with, goes, "Oh, yes."
Tia looks at you both and, like, smiles. Like, what? I would love that. Thank you both so much.
Sabi's gonna start, like, picking up plates or whatever.
Oh, what are the twins doing?
The twins are going to retreat to their room because
Yeah, makes sense.
they've had a lot going on today.
Nia, let's say, is putting away the leftovers and is starting to scrub some pots. She's placed Hanako on drying duty because I think she can see that Hanako seems a bit confused on how a
Yeah.
just confused in general. So she just kind of like shows you being like, okay, take the cloth and put
Now,
the
in
dry
fairness,
plates there.
Hanako has been living with Chong for a little bit at this point.
But Chong seems like the kind of person to eat off paper plates.
Chong has one plate. This is several plates. And some of them aren't just like a sandwich plate.
That's true. Hanako has been living the use a plate, clean it, put it back life.
Yeah.
I think for you, you're just like, there's more than one cupboard for things. She gives you a quick tutorial. Like, you pick it up quickly. So, like, yeah, she gives you wet dishes. You try and put it away.
So, Nia, how long have you lived here at Boulder Lake anyway?
Oh, well, it's been a real long while. I'd say, since I was a youngish adult, I'd say.
You just live out here full time? It seems like someplace that a lot of people spend the summer, but
The winters can be kind of rough, I agree with that, but in fall the colors are quite lovely. In spring, the spring kind of sucks too, but late spring, that's nice. It's kind of a place where once you live there a bit, it feels like home, and you can't really think about why you'd want to live anywhere else.
you know those children from before, right? Are they here often, or?
Oh, no. I've only just met them at the beginning of the season. They're new here. They're nice kids. The girl, Okolo, she kind of keeps to herself. Like Benji's a real scamper, that one. He goes all over the place. I bumped into them a lot on the beach and such, and helped here and there, as neighborly things. And I've seen them in town a couple times with, like, doing the tourist things and whatnot. From what I gather, they're just here for the summer while Dad helps take care of the mom. She's got something. going on with health-wise that the parents thought it'd be better to have the kids out here while he handles stuff with her back at home. That little boy, like, he's a real sweetie. He started to call me auntie because of how often we've been hanging out. But yeah, they're just right now friendly little tourists.
Sabi just kind of nods at that and then continues helping quietly.
Why don't you tell me a bit about yourself? I mean, are you from Republic City or did you move there?
Not originally. I grew up in Ba Sing Se.
Ooh, the big city, Ba Sing Se. A lot of things have been going on there, let me tell you.
I'll say.
That is a profound understatement.
She nods and, hands you, Hanako, more plates to dry. You're almost finished with them, but there's still, like, a couple of big pots she needs to, like, give a good scrubbing. Well, you seem to have done pretty well for yourself down in good old Republic City, though, like, with that, fancy-sounded title you got there.
It's mostly reviewing accounting paperwork these days. It's not as exciting as it sounds, typically.
Hanako looks a little bit surprised by this.
She kind of, like, waves a hand at you, like, before I was here, I was kind of in a job like that.
Oh? What?
Back in the village where the girl's family and I's is. I helped with, like, helped a bit more with the business side of things. You know, with the export of our goods. You know, I would read over the papers, help stock the items, type things up, etc.
What goods did you, export exactly?
You know, agricultural things, a lot of rice, a lot of fish.
Does that make sense for a fishing village?
Important work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and of course, nets, like for fishing nets, and the tools for crops or whatnot, seeds. It's a lot of, like, the itty-bitty gritty things. And it was good work. I liked it as a young woman.
What made you decide to stop?
I think this is where, like, she kind of has a long pause, doesn't wash dishes, and lets the water run for a little bit. I think with you, Hanako, you're even waiting for a few moments. You don't have any dishes to dry in your hands, and goes, well, it's, we had a death in the family.
I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences.
I appreciate that. It's been a while, though, so it's been a while, though. Can't say it's gotten easier, but it's sorry, I can't really find it's hard to find the right word for it, but basically, we move forward, you know?
Of course.
Feeling that the two of us know well.
He nods, and she continues. I suddenly just found myself wondering, what am I doing? Like, I liked the job, and I liked my life, but I found myself questioning everything, and found myself really wanting to do something with my life that I thought was worthwhile. And I guess also kind of wanted to escape the situation I was in. Everyone was so sad all the time. And I was young. I was just around I didn't want to be weighed down by anything.
Hanako pipes up and says, it's funny. I keep running into people who sound like my friends. You remind me a lot of that funny little man that you keep mentioning.
He chuckles.
But he's been saying this thing recently. That you have to follow your bliss, I think.
She nods and goes, follow your bliss. I like the sound of that.
But recently, he's also been acknowledging that sometimes he runs away from things that it would be better to confront head on.
She nods again, a bit more serious.
If I can be frank, I find him quite inspiring. He's been going back and talking to people whom he thought he could never have a relationship with again. And he's been enjoying that. Hanako kind of looks around and then glances back at the direction that the twins wandered off to. I don't know if the door to their room is visible. I hope that's what's happening here. And then she falls silent and returns to drying the dishes.
I think she's washed the last dish and hands it to you and like, and holds it there for a moment with you holding it. And she says, I really love my family, despite everything I did and continue to do. They're the most important thing to me, no matter how much it hurts. That makes sense?
Sabi's kind of nodding at this, but doesn't say anything.
Yeah, Hanako also nods.
She lets go of the last plate, claps her hands, and goes, what a nut! Let's put that last dish away, tuck her up in, and then we're on a beetle hunt tomorrow.
Moment of Balance will return after these messages.
We interrupt your regular programming to bring you this breaking news. Our news desk has been receiving reports of some kind of violent incident on Kyoshi Island, possibly involving one or more deaths. A diplomatic summit was being held on Kyoshi, and witnesses report that chaos erupted when a series of explosions destroyed a number of ships at the docks, followed by reports of gunshots coming from the diplomatic retreat. What followed was a day of utter chaos as the locals struggled to deal with the fires that broke out. Fortunately, according to our sources in the Republic City government, the terrorists responsible for this attack have all been killed or captured, and the United Republic and Earth Kingdom have sent a joint military task force to secure the island. The exact motives of the terrorists are unknown, and no group has stepped forward to claim responsibility. We can only hope that the United Republic's involvement will have a steadying effect on the Earth Kingdom political situation. We will keep you up to date as this situation develops. Now, back to our regular programming.
Welcome to a world of adventure, where Pokemon run the show. Omens of Ruin tells a story in the universe of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon filled with fun characters.
I have a friend who's stuck and can't get over the tree trunk. Would you be able to help us?
Is your friend made of honey?
Mal, are you made of honey?
Scary monsters.
Leave us alone! Ah.
And many mysteries to get to the bottom of. They might be your new, guildmates. They might not. Who knows?
Do you know?
Do it. Well, I gotta go.
Hey.
Oh, man.
And, of course, the dice. You better hope I don't crit.
I am praying.
I crit.
God!
I'm sorry.
Check out this Explorers of Fate adventure in Omens of Ruin, wherever you find your podcasts.
Gather round, everybody. Some stories are just best told around the warmth of a campfire. This one's about the Skywaymen, and how these three knuckleheads changed our cursed world's fate forever. It's a story about knights, old folk songs, and, if I tell it right, it's mostly about love.
Shrimp and Crits Dania is the second season of our actual play podcast with a southern twist. Join the Skywaymen, Cell, Cord, and Gree on an adventure to find lost loved ones.
I know the big lug's out there, somewhere.
Are you worried?
Nah.
Unravel the mysteries of the stars.
There's just so much nothing out there, and, well, I wanted to see a little bit of something.
And to discover purpose beyond our birthrights.
I don't want to be a builder. I want to see the world.
Shrimp and Crits Dania is an actual play podcast with a southern twist, and it's streaming everywhere bi-weekly on Mondays.
And now, back to Moment of Balance. Hanako turns to Sabi and says, you go ahead and do as you will. I don't know if the ant recognizes what that means, but, you know. Hanako says, I'm going to go check on the twins, and I'll be up shortly.
Sabi's gonna go to the master bedroom and just is kind of like standing by the window, looking out of it whenever Hanako comes in.
Are you looking out the window, or are you just standing by it?
No, looking out the window.
Dramatically.
Yes, very dramatically.
She's brooding.
She's brooding.
Yeah.
Hanako, you go to Peony and Pearl's room.
Yeah, Peony and Pearl get a knock on their door.
Hello?
It's me. May I come in?
Yeah, come in. Yes, yeah.
Hanako walks in, shuts the door quietly behind her. I just wanted to check in on the two of you. How are you holding up, given everything?
Today's just been a lot. Right now, Peony is sort of sprawled out on the bed. Pearl is trying to brush her hair in the back. It got like a lot of seawater in it, and she's struggling through it.
I understand. There's been quite a lot going on.
I know that you being here is the only reason she's here, pointing upstairs at Sabi. But I'm really glad you came. This would have been really awkward if we didn't have other people to sort of buffer it.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm sorry again about Sabi. Tomorrow, we'll get the Beetle found, and she'll be on her way back to the city with all luck.
Okay. Fine with us.
Do you want to talk about anything? Not about Sabi, I mean. I know that I'm very apologetic about her right now, but I know that there's
I don't
other
know what
things.
more could be said about Sabi. Like, she freaks me out. She freaks both of us out. But, like, there's nothing more we can say about her.
I understand. And I did not come in here to talk about me. I did not come in here to talk about Sabi. How are you doing? How are you handling your aunt?
I just don't understand why she wanted us to come here. Like, we don't know her. We haven't seen her in ages. And, like, when Dad died, she just straight up abandoned us. Like, she left her brother and her dead brother's wife alone in our little village to just sort of pick up the pieces of Dad's death. I mean, hell, her Dad's old fishing buddies were more of a help to us than she ever was. It's like she didn't even care about her brother.
Hanako is silent for a while. She's trying to process the twins' emotions. I can't say I know for certain what's going on with your aunt. I've never been in a situation quite like this one. What I do know, and what I have been around, is a lot of people who have ulterior motives. And while the initial situation struck me that there could be some in play, I'm also pragmatic enough to admit that I can't see what they would be.
You really think there's something fishy going on? I mean, I guess that would make sense as to why she wants us back in her life, but, like, what are we to her? We're just a couple of random nieces that she never got to know past small childhood.
That's what's sticking in my head. She seems genuine, is what I'm trying to say. Family can do a lot of fucked up things. And family can do a lot of fucked up things and then say it's because they love you.
Yeah, who are we going to be complaining about family to you?
No,
you
that's
are
not...
the winner of the Shitty Mom Award.
You're taking completely the wrong point away from this. I'm not... I wouldn't blame you if you decide that your aunt doesn't deserve your forgiveness. I'm in no position to be able to tell you that you should give your aunt a chance. But I would consider the option.
She's gonna have to do a whole lot to make up for 11 years of missed whatever she was looking for. We need distractions. That's what we need.
Indeed.
I don't want to be in this house tomorrow. I don't want to be around those pictures tomorrow. Honestly, I don't even care if we're around her. Points upstairs again.
Hanako nods and says, well then, first thing tomorrow, we'll be up bright and early, get searching for a bug, and then hopefully everything else will work itself out. Yes?
Here's hoping. Some point tomorrow, 3 of us, we're going boardwalk shopping. Because you need a bathing suit that is less ostentatious.
Hanako blushes. Was my bathing suit ostentatious?
It was clearly something that you owned as a Fire Nation noble. If you're trying to embrace the world of Republic City peasantry, you need something that's a little more, blending into the crowd.
You make a compelling point. Boardwalk shopping it is. I did receive payment from Republic City for that ambassador job not too long ago, so I have plenty to spend.
From the bathroom, you hear Pearl yell, "Boardwalk shopping! Hell yeah! Ow!" as she gets through a particularly painful tangle.
I'll see the two of you tomorrow. Sleep well.
You too.
Hanako will step out. And I actually have one more thing before I go upstairs. Sabi, you're staring brutally out the window.
Yeah.
You see someone walking down towards the beach.
Okay. Do I recognize that person?
I mean, it's Hanako.
Okay.
It's dark, so maybe you don't recognize her, but it's Hanako.
Okay.
What
do nights get like out here? Like, is it still pretty hot?
I would say it's a lot like a summer night. It's still warm enough where you could wear light clothing and not be overheated. But there's like a nicer breeze to the air now, and the skies are cloudless. And you can see without the city lights billions of stars. And the lake to the water, it's without the sun, it's so dark. It's almost like just a plate dark glass with a big ass boulder right in the middle. And it's noisy as well, with lots of sounds of nearby crickets and owls and other nightlife. But it's harmonious. Like, it's all kind of almost like a night machine of forest music. And I guess if you, Hanako, would have a word for this, peaceful.
Hanako takes a deep breath. She doesn't smile, but she does undo her hair, step into the lake, and gets far enough in that she can sit down with, like, just her head poking out above the water.
Is Hanako fully dressed?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she'll take another deep breath, and she's going to put her hands together under the water and, like, use her firebending to, like, heat the water up so that she gets, like, a little bit of a hot tub situation going for herself. And she's just going to sit there. She's going to breathe in the steam, breathe out, and just think for 5 seconds in the calm. I would like to take my balance towards heritage. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, totally. Steal the scene.
Awesome. Hanako just reflects for a little bit. The water has been fucking with her this entire trip because it's new, it's different, it's comfortable, it's peaceful. She's finding home in a place that she never found it before. And that is giving her, in this moment, the slight peace of mind to be able to get her brain together and find the words for the things that she's been processing. I think, Sabi, you do see towards the start of this, like a glow as Hanako uses firebending to heat up the water. And I think that if you didn't know before, at that point you know that this is Hanako.
Yeah, no, that tracks.
I feel like Sabi would know that curly hair anywhere.
Yeah, probably.
True. Yeah. If Sabi doesn't come down or anything, then I think about 10-15 minutes passes. Hanako periodically reheating the water.
Yeah, no, Sabi's not gonna come down. She just like watches you, but like doesn't want to interrupt.
At the end of it all, Hanako takes a deep breath again, puts her head under, and then rises from the water and walks back inside, her dress soaking wet.
So are you going upstairs now?
Yeah. I'll go upstairs to the master bedroom.
As you're entering, so Sabi has like, she's taken off the blouse that she was wearing and she's wearing like an undershirt. It's like a tank top. And when her regular, like her pants and still has the boots on. There is no situation where you would have seen Sabi not wearing long sleeves, is there?
I don't think so.
No, because like she always wears long sleeves. You can see like in the light that is in the room a couple of things. So on her upper right arm, there is a sort of like a puckered scar, and on her left like shoulder, you can see like a bunch of kind of like crisscrossed scar lines that look old, but you're not sure what they could be potentially from.
Okay.
And yeah, she's just kind of like looking out the window and hears you come in and turns. You're still soaking wet?
Yeah, Hanako enters the room looking something like a wet cat.
Are you doing okay?
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad
we should talk.
Yeah, okay. She sits down on the bed.
Hanako proceeds behind the changing screen and starts changing into something dry as she starts talking.
Also, as she sat down, the scar on the right arm, it's on both sides of the arm. It looks like it was probably a bullet wound at some point.
You said something in your letter.
I said a lot of things in my letter. I'm sorry, what was it that you...
You said that things were different now. Or that you wanted things to be different now. And I'll get around to what you actually meant by that, because I'm not a fool. But it got me thinking about something else. And the way that you came here proved the point to me. I think at this point, Hanako has changed. What is she wearing right now? I think in this moment, she's wearing a bathrobe. You were right. Things are different now. I'm not the person I used to be, and neither are you. This whole miscommunication happened because I was talking to you the way that I used to. In the past, we worked together, and we didn't ask each other questions. We said what we needed to get things done, and we didn't interrogate beyond that.
Sabi is like kind of furrowing her brow and nodding.
And I don't want to relitigate this because I know that you feel bad about what happened at the mine, but I think that I need to talk about it in order to make my point.
Okay.
When that fight started, I didn't know that it was going to happen. We didn't talk about our plan. I I went to genuinely try to walk in and find out what I could. But you thought that I had made a distraction, the fight began, and what happened afterwards happened. And that's okay. I've made my peace with it. Maybe those two haven't. And she starts talking more quietly and points downwards. But I have. I'm using a lot of words to say that I don't want that to be the case anymore. And Hanako walks forward and gets a step closer to you than I think she usually does.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what you're up to. I care about you. Very deeply. And I feel guilty asking for this because it's such a shift from what we've done before, but I want to know your life.
I've had a lot of time to just kind of think about stuff over the last month or so. I haven't really... I didn't have the same experience that you did at Kyoshi Island. And I keep coming back to that night in the Jasmine Dragon and what you said to me about choosing to go to Varric and not to tell you what was happening. And I wish I hadn't done that. I'm not she kind of like closes her eyes and furrows her brow like she's trying to think of what to say. Not going to Varric, I think that was probably the best decision that we could have made, but I wanted so badly to keep you safe from everything, and I know you don't need me to do that, but I felt like it was my fault that we were in that situation, and I was ready to do anything to keep it from hurting you. I was ready to turn myself in for the murder if that was what it took. But I wish I had told you what I was thinking. Even if it was the best choice we had, maybe we could have made it together.
I'd really like if we could do that in the future.
I'm not used to caring about people. I don't mean that I'm not used to, having friends or whatever. I just mean the kind of stuff that I've done, it's a liability. And I'm not sure how to do it sometimes. But this is gonna sound strange, but I promise it's important. When you were out talking to the kid earlier, I was looking at the photos downstairs and all the pictures with that guy in them. He's the twins' father, I think.
Hanako nods.
They had been taken out recently, like, just talking to that woman, it's like, maybe this is completely out of nowhere, but it sounds like she's just trying to cover up her own guilt over something, and it just made me think, I don't want to be that kind of person, because I've got plenty of things to feel guilty for, but I don't want to be the woman living alone by a lake, desperately trying to pretend that she doesn't feel the way that she feels.
You're sitting on the bed, yeah?
Yeah, she's sitting on the bed.
Hanako stands in front of you and kneels down so that we're face to face, and takes your hand and clutches it between hers and says, I don't think you are that woman.
I don't either. I know that the way that we talk to each other served a purpose, but we didn't know each other as well, and we hadn't been through the same things that we've been through, and maybe it doesn't serve that purpose anymore.
Hanako... She actually laughs. Sabi, you are the densest woman I have ever
Sabi
met.
is like smiling at her and turning really red.
No, it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. I don't want it to serve a purpose anymore. Hanako blushes as well, and she runs a hand through her absolutely soaked hair, which doesn't go well. Her hand immediately gets tangled in her hair, and she regrets trying to do it. And she laughs nervously and says, God. I'm no better. I always thought that this sort of thing, and, like, her other hand is still holding on to yours.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought this sort of thing would be arranged for me. I never thought I would have to deal with this. Sabi.
Yes?
I love you.
I don't think Sabi responds to this. I think what Sabi does is reaches up to the hand that's kind of caught in your hair, holds it, and then leans forward and kisses you.
So it's morning. It's another beautiful sunny day. I think you're all at the breakfast table. Auntie Nia has made once again another beautiful meal, lots of Avatar breakfast foods. I think she also purposely added like a little sweet breakfast bun that the twins liked when they were little. Like that they used to eat there, like as a little nudge. She doesn't say anything about it though. She's just like, I made all these things.
There's a small brief scene where Hanako is feeding Azula her breakfast, and she pats Azula on the snout and says, "Now, if you ate any unauthorized beetles, I will be upset with you." And Azula does a little huff.
Okay, so you feed Azula. She's very happy. Azula, I think maybe like Auntie Nia woke up a little early, and maybe's also like put up like a little shelter for Azula as well too. Maybe like a little like tent like that's used for the beach. She's probably looked at the thing being like, well, I don't really know what you are, but you might want a little bit of shade.
Yeah, she realizes it wants under the house and is like, we need to get something for you so you don't upset my foundation.
Pretty much. It's like, this is prime real estate here. So I think you guys have eaten breakfast, and she says like, alrighty, well, I must admit, last night was a little bit of a hullabaloo with little Benji, but, bless his heart, he's a young little guy. Can't blame him for wanting to, have a little bit of an upset here and there, especially about his beloved little pet. Now, let's be honest, it's a big beetle, like a big as your head beetle, but I don't know about the possibility of actually finding this thing. You guys don't know about this. Let's go missing often here. Like, a lot of people bring kids, or people bring pets that aren't very well trained, but especially pets that aren't really familiar to Earth Kingdom, or pets you don't really see around these parts. That might be Earth Kingdom, but like, weird region or whatnot. They often go missing, and sometimes they're found, most of the time they aren't, so...
I'm sorry, are you... What you just said was unclear. Did you say the children go missing too, or just their pets?
I apologize. She takes another swig of coffee. Coffee hasn't kicked in yet. The pets. There's been no missing people here.
Sabi, like, sits back in her chair and looks kind of, like, squints at this woman.
Don't you think there'd be a bigger issue here if children were missing? Like, wouldn't I have been freaking out a bit more knowing that a little kid was out? So, you know what? She puts her head down. You investigator? I can't blame you for double checking. I appreciate that, but I assure you, it's only been animals. It hasn't been all of them. It's just on occasion. It makes sense. Like, I've talked with locals on this. Like, it's not necessarily unusual, but what I'm saying is, this is that...
We may not find the beetle. is what you're trying to say.
Oh, we are probably not going to find the beetle. It's also, I don't really know how this beetle works. Like, Benji didn't even tell me its name. It's just this beetle.
Do I, as a Fire Nation lady, have any knowledge about this kind of beetle? I mean, you did say it was rare, and Hanako's not, like, an animal girl, right? So, like...
Yeah, no, especially with bugs. I think your mom would, if anything, like, tried to keep you away from bugs.
Totally.
This is probably a bug you were taught in school. Yes, so a bark beetle, which I found on the Avatar website.
Cool.
The bark beetle is found only on Lamek Island, which is a Fire Nation island. You are aware that this is a small island. It doesn't really have people on it. It's mostly a wildlife island, which is where the beetle has, in the past, really blossomed. However, during the 100-Year War, the environment on the island changed significantly, especially as Fire Nation Navy started to use the island more as a strategic point for refueling ships. And that really damaged the environments in the area. After the war, there were a lot of efforts to conservation efforts to get the island back to environment, and it did pick up for a little while. But recent weather changes on the island just naturally, really not the cause of anything, from anything, I should say, really dropped the population of this particular beetle. Like, the trees are starting to rot on the island, which are the beetle's, like, home. Where you, Hanako, have heard particularly recently about this beetle, and I'll give this to you freely because of your skills and training. Sometime during your ambassadorship, you remember vaguely about this beetle, particularly because it's a big, ugly beetle. In your opinion, it was being found on the black market, and it was causing problems in some nations because it is considered, because of certain trees it likes to eat, a invasive species that can really do some damage.
Okay.
Has the name of this thing been mentioned yet in Sabi's presence?
Yes. When it was mentioned to you last night when Benji came in and was like, "My bark beetle's missing."
I feel like Sabi's probably run into maybe not that specific species, but like the general concept of like the sale and export of endangered or invasive species being not cool, because she's been doing a lot of like basically reviewing trade law for the last month.
Oh yeah, I think that's come up because I think with this particular beetle, this thing reproduces pretty easily. The issue is like with the weather on Lamek Island, the eggs are hatching too quickly before they get to maturity, so that's why it's been struggling there. And when it's when the beetle's in the Fire Nation, the trees it eats, like, they're very specific type there, and with the other animals and whatnot they have there, they're fine in Fire Nation lands. But say they're in Earth, it's when they're in Earth Nation places that they're a problem, because they have a lot of that type of tree here, and they don't have a natural predator here. There's nothing keeping these bastards in check. So they can, like, deforest a whole area very quickly, but they're only an issue when there's a lot of them. If it's just one beetle, like the one Benji has, it's okay. Especially because I assume Benji had it on a leash or something. And I think, Hanako, you would see in Fire Nation history when learning a little about this, like, before they were a problem, they were kept as pets by particular children in the Fire Nation before they became an endangered species, and probably were, prizes of the upper classes, like Benji is. So it makes sense that Benji would have this beetle. He's an upper class kid. He probably got the beetle as a gift. And, kept it on the leash, probably promised never to let it go out of his sight or whatnot. But this beetle finds another beetle in this place and reproduces. It could be a problem. So this isn't great news from Auntie Nia to hear that this beetle might never be found. So, Auntie Nia's like, having a little powwow at the table with you guys, and she goes, "So, but we have found people's pets, weirdly enough, in town a lot of the times. Like, in weird little things, like, we got a lot of tourists this time of season, particularly people, interested in looking into the boulder about the about the legend of this place. Girls, do you remember? You remember when you were kids? We talk about the legend, read it to you guys as a bedtime story.
Yeah, whatever is named the Great who pulled the boulder up from the lake. That's just a story, right? And then the other twin butts in like, are we sure it was just a story? Was it a story?
Nancy shrugs. Like, hell if I know. I just know that... All I know is that you get a lot of people from out of town believing that at the bottom of the boulder is some weird sort of treasure, and that you need to bring an animal with you to find it. I have no idea where the hell that came from. People keep bringing animals in, thinking like, oh, this thing will be the thing that finds it for me. You know what's actually a really good way to learn about the legend and whatnot? There's a great tour boat in town led by this young fella, Hoomer.
Now, it's not that I'm not interested in this and would love to return to this topic at a later time, but aren't we getting a little off track?
Well, no, not necessarily. What I meant to say is that in town we've often found people's lost pets because the animals will be attracted to the food there. Bark beetles, from what I understand, like, and she, holds up a little pamphlet she found, like, little bench, you gave this to me a little while. I read this, they like cinnamon smells. And there's like a little, like, nut cinnamon salesman in town. I bet if you, looked into him, the beetle might have stopped by there, attracted by the scent. If you walk down town, it's quite potent.
Seems as good a place to start as any to me.
Well, let's go.
Yep, so Auntie Nia will lead you guys into town.
How far is it?
I'm gonna say a mile. Is there anything you guys want to do on the way into town?
Nope.
Gotcha. So you are in town. It's exactly what the postcard makes it look like. It's early Earth Kingdom style. Interestingly enough, you figured coming in you'd see a lot more locals or tourists, but instead you see a lot of little groups of people. And you can tell with the way they're dressed and such, they look like they're people on an adventure. And what strikes you is that each of them has an animal. And it's an animal you wouldn't quite expect. At least initially. You see a raccoon crow, you see a sea vulture, you see a bull shark, you see a cabbage slug. Wait, no, that's too small. Yeah, it's a big cabbage slug.
It would be very funny if there was a cabot here and we look and it's just Chong. He's just here chasing the treasure, completely unrelated to us.
Hey guys, I got me some treasure.
Hanako, well, I have to kill him now.
Okay, you see a cabot and it's like 2 times the size of Zopa, and it's Hanako. You look at this cabot, and this cabot just does not have the elegance nor sophistication of Zopa. This is a ruffian cabot.
This is a cabot that I can justify still hating.
Yes.
Okay, it's funny that you say this is a ruffian cabot when Chong found Zopa on the street in an alley. She's literally a feral cabot.
Yes, but Zopa is a little lady. This cabot looks like it eats other cabots.
He adapted to society.
So as we're walking in, Sabi leans over to Hanako and hey, does it strike you as strange that everyone seems to have some kind of unusual animal with them?
Is it strange? Yes. Do we know why? Yes. I'm not particularly concerned about it, aside from the fact that it does mean any one of them could have the beetle. You know, the bad beetle that should not stay in this forest.
Yeah.
I think you guys are walking through, and eventually
I do think, actually, really quick, Hanako's going to hold up a finger, like to indicate 1 second to Sabi, sort of drift back to where Peony and Pearl are walking, like 5 steps behind us.
A good distance from Sabi.
Yeah, exactly. I love the idea that Sabi is walking 5 steps ahead of Peony and Pearl, and Hanako just has to speed up and slow down depending on who she wants to talk
that's
to.
perfect.
Anyway, she does slow down to go back to Peony and Pearl while the ant is distracted and say, by the way, I should inform you two, if we don't find this beetle, that's very bad.
What do you mean?
So this beetle is endangered in the Fire Nation. However, it is invasive everywhere else. If this beetle stays here, it could cause an ecological disaster.
Well, shit! Way to up the stakes on us!
Apologies!
Nah, we're no longer just, making a little boy sad. We're also destroying the ecosystem. Lovely.
Yeah, just thought I'd let you know so we keep looking a little longer than your aunt might want to.
Yeah, got it. You really think it could be around here, though? Like, it's so busy. Like, people don't love big bugs. You'd think that people would, swat it away and whatnot, right?
People don't love big bugs, but people who are desperate for a lot of money might put up with it.
Fair.
So you guys are going through the town, and you see that the people are all kind of... You see, the motion's kind of towards the boat tour area. And you see people, getting online, their little groups with their little, fun animal, getting ready to go on the boat. And you see that the stand that sells the cinnamon nuts, the one that your aunt thinks the beetle would be attracted to, is on the boat.
Hanako passes some money to the twins for the snacks. It says, "On me this time," and then speeds up to catch back up to Sabi.
Do you guys want to go on the boat?
Sure.
Yeah.
I suppose we have to.
Okay, so your aunt leads you to the boat entrance and goes up to the guy at the stall and goes, "Well, hey there, Hoomer. How you doing today?" And you look at Hoomer, and Hoomer, this is the most apathetic teenage boy you've ever seen in your entire lives. This guy, his eyes are half lidded. He looks bored. He has, pimples. He's like a skinny, tall dude. He looks at Auntie Nia and he goes, "Hey there, Miss Nia."
Hoomer, it was?
Yeah.
This is very important, Hoomer. You give tours to people who are looking for the treasure, yes?
Usually. Technically, this is a tour discussing the history of Boulder Lake.
Have you seen anybody today with a really big beetle?
Beetle?
Yes.
A big beetle?
Yes.
Sabi is pinching the bridge of her nose and frowning while he is doing this.
Yes, like a really big beetle.
A big beetle.
Yes.
I mean, there's
like a really big one.
There's this little kid, this little Fire Nation kid that, brought the beetle here once.
Anybody else bring that beetle by here? His beetle is missing.
Oh. Like a big beetle?
You just said you saw it, like a really big beetle.
Boomer pauses for a long moment.
Like a really big one.
Okay, maybe, look, dude, I hate to be like this, but my tour's gonna happen in 5 minutes. Could I help you answer this after the tour?
Hanako takes a very deep breath and says, You're useless to me right now. Thank you for your time.
Sabi steps forward and kind of like nudges Hanako and walks up to Hoomer. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Humer.
Humor.
Yeah. So Sabi's wearing her coat again. She reaches into her coat and pulls out an ID folio and very quickly like flashes it at Hoomer. Hanako, you kind of catch that it's like her Future Industries ID. Look, Hoomer, I'm Special Agent Sabi from the Earth Kingdom Ecological Protection Agency, and I need you to be straight with me. Have you seen anyone here recently with a beetle like that? This is a very serious matter.
Like a big beetle?
Yes, Hoomer, don't play dumb with me. It's a big fucking beetle. You just told us you saw it.
Like a really big one.
Hold on, I gotta find something here.
It's too bad that you don't have your guns with you, because you could.
This is why Sabi doesn't have her guns with her right now.
Okay,
Again, Hoomer cannot state this enough. Like, a really big one.
Look, Hoomer, this is a serious situation. My partner and I, she points over at Hanako, we're here investigating reports of a highly invasive insect species, and now we're finding out that you've seen it. This is serious, Hoomer. This carries a very heavy penalty. This carries prison time. Do you know what the prisons are like in this part of the Earth Kingdom? You have to tell us what you know.
You see, for a brief moment, a spark of concern in Hoomer's apathetic, dull eyes. Oh, I didn't know this was, like, important.
Like, really important, Hoomer.
Oh yeah, so, the big beetle, it's been in town, like, twice that I've seen. Once, when the little Fire Nation kid came in with it on a leash, which was weird, but whatever. And another time, like, it hovered by the stand there. He points to the cinnamon nut stand. And, like, someone took it. And
can you give us a description of the person who took it? Humor?
I like this idea that Sabi's like white knuckling the little tourist stand, and Hoomer's like in this like silly little uniform.
Come on, Hoomer. Focus. What did this person look like who took the beetle, and where did they go?
The big beetle.
Yes, the big beetle.
They had like a big bag thing. It was almost like a butterfly net. Like, just saw it for a moment. We had a big tour that day. I can't tell you what they looked like. I can tell you what direction they went in, though.
That would be a really big help, Hoomer. Like a really big one.
Okay, so, they went towards the vet.
How long ago did they go towards the veterinarian?
Hoomer thinks for a moment.
A short time, or like a really long one?
It was during our dawn tour. We were by the boulder. I noticed the beetle because the big beetle. Someone whipped out a net. I assumed it was the owner or affiliated with it. You get like a lot of weird pets, like the big beetle and things on the boat. And when we got off the boat, they went off to the vet. It's right next to the Roller Boulder gift shop. We have to have a vet in town because so many people bring animals in for vacation or for a tour about the legendary treasure with the boulder.
Is that all the information you have about the really big beetle? Hoomer?
Hoomer pauses for another long moment. Not that I think of. I mean, it didn't look hurt. So I don't know why it got brought to the vet. Maybe pet hotel situation. I didn't mention this all earlier when you asked for the badge because I didn't want to get. We've been having issues with the cinnamon nut stand on the boat, and I didn't want people to know that bugs have been hanging around the cinnamon nuts.
Sabi is kind of making a face like, what the fuck?
Cinnamon nut stand. It's a big seller for $2.99 in Earth coin. You can get a generous bag of nuts.
Hoomer.
And then for $6.99, you can get a family-sized portion.
Sabi like kind of slaps the. Sabi kind of like slaps the counter in front of him. Hoomer, talking to you has been excruciating. Thank you so much for your help. You've done a great service to the Earth Kingdom Environmental Protection Agency. Thank you so much.
Like a really great service, and Hanako walks away.
As Sabi is turning away, she sees the twins have money for the nuts, right?
Yes.
Sees them and says, Don't eat the nuts.
So the twins had been watching from the corner, not really hearing everything Hoomer was saying, but seeing Sabi get increasingly angry, and they'd been snickering the whole time. They go up to Hanako and they're like, watching her be tortured is so much fun. I hope we see him again.
Never tell her that I said this. I was actively fucking with her.
Should I really not eat the nuts?
There might be bugs.
Okay. And then both the twins take the nuts and sort of toss them off to the side, and some other animal from some other person goes. I'm imagining like a monkey lizard or something shows up and like grabs the nuts and shoves it in its mouth.
Yes, that, and I bet there's like a foggy swamp trio there, and they have a cat gator with them. Maybe like
oh my god,
the monkey and the cat gator fight for the nuts. All right, so where are you guys off to next?
Well, the vet.
I guess like we're going to the vet.
Hats off to Hoomer.
Alrighty, so Auntie Nia's with you, and you guys all head over to the vet. The vet is kind of the last building in town, and it's definitely, you know how there's like a street, there's like almost like a block separating it, and there's like a separate building in a city. It's like that, and this is probably, with the exception of Town Hall, the nicest building in town. It looks very clean, big wide open doors, and you guys, walk up the little set of stairs and past the doors, and you walk into a very nice, empty, like, reception area. There's a vase of fresh cut flowers on the reception desk area, and there's a bell. There's no one behind the desk, though.
Yeah, Hanako rings the bell. And I know what's about to happen, but she sure doesn't.
Okay. So a few minutes pass. You probably ring the bell a couple of times, and then you
I
overhear.
like to imagine that Hanako rings the bell the first time, and Sabi starts getting impatient and rings it more.
Yep. And then you hear like, "I'm coming. I'm coming."
The twins look at each other and just give each other this face of delight.
Sabi just like pinches the bridge of her nose again and raises her
So
eyebrows.
Humor goes behind, like opens up like a little door. It goes behind the desk, and he switches out his name tag from like tour guide to vet receptionist, and he puts on a little scrub hat. Hello, I am Humor. How can I help you with your pet needs today?
Hanako smiles and lets Sabi take this.
Don't know what I was expecting. Sabi just like raises her eyebrows and again reaches into her coat and flashes this identification thing, which I should, for the listeners, note is not like a badge. It is just her ID for future industry.
Yeah.
Hello, Humor. My name is Agent Sabi of the Earth Kingdom Veterinary Investigative Division, and this is my partner, Agent Hanako. We have a few questions about a beetle that you may have encountered recently.
Like a really big one?
She leans in. A really big beetle.
Like a big beetle?
Like a really big one.
Big beetle.
Like a very, very big one. Chrissy, I will do this bit with you forever.
Not just really big, Humor, but very dangerous as well. I don't
like very dangerous.
She leans in. I don't know if you know this, but the beetle that we're looking for actually has it has acid saliva. And Sabi kind of like makes like a don't tell anyone motion over her lips with a finger.
You need to roll this. This is an outright lie.
That is an 8.
I think you have the same reaction at the oat scene where like Humor has a moment of like a little spark of concern in his eyes and a little quiver in his lip before he schools his expression again. He goes, "Oh wow, that sounds pretty bad."
It's really bad, Humor.
Like
it's really bad.
While Humor's thinking, the twins move in. They have like a fucking vet magazine that's there for the waiting room, and they've been like hiding behind it and snickering it. And Pearl sticks her head up and says, "Hey, Humor, do you know where we can get some nice cinnamon roasted nuts around here?"
And then Hanako smiles.
Cost?
And then Hanako smiles at the twins and says, like, really nice ones.
Humor, we have reports from a reliable witness that a beetle matching the description of the one we're looking for was seen here this morning. Were you the employee on duty this morning?
The cinnamon nuts can be bought on the boat. Tour boat.
Sabi is struggling to keep a straight face. Wait, actually, hold on. I'm gonna roll with focus.
Yeah.
+3, that's a 9. Sabi mostly succeeds in keeping a straight face, but you hear her kind of like at this. Humor, do we need to go get the witness? Because he did identify this specific clinic. We can go get him and bring him over here if it would help.
He's like really reliable.
He's extremely reliable.
Humor slowly blinks at you, and he goes, "That's okay. There was a beetle here.
Like a really big one?
I guess."
Could you tell us more about what happened with this beetle?
They I only saw like a head. It was in a net. They didn't check in. They passed by me right into the vet's room, and Hoomer points over to the room next, like to the vet's office down the hall, and he goes, "I can go get her if you'd like. Speak to my superior here."
We would appreciate that very much, Hoomer. Thank you so much for your help.
Like, just really appreciate it.
Really big help.
Hoomer gives you guys like a little bow, and he, for now, walks off stage and walks to the vet's office to get the vet for you guys.
I swear to God, if the vet is Hoomer in a wig, I am going to strangle him.
I would love to watch that.
This is said low. This is like to Sabi or to Hanako specifically.
Sabi, you say that to Hanako, and then you look back to the vet door, and then Hanako shoots a wink to the twins.
Okay. The vet door opens, and who walks out is not Hoomer.
Thank God.
And Sabi, you probably do a double check, and no, it is not Hoomer in a wig. It is a short, petite woman. She is wearing veterinary scrubs. She has her hair in a low ponytail. And she walks over. She seems, bright and peppy, and goes to you guys. "Hi there, I'm Dr. Timma. How can I help you today?"
Ma'am, we're here investigating the disappearance of a beetle, specifically a highly invasive bark beetle, and we have a report from a witness that the beetle was last seen being carried here by an unidentified individual.
Oh, no, that sounds quite bad. When you say beetle, do you know what kind?
A bark beetle.
Oh. She looks at you, like, with a knowing look, like she knows this beetle deal. "Oh yeah, that is quite a problem."
Were you here this morning, ma'am?
I was. I remember someone did come in with a beetle. It was hard to tell what kind it was. They kept it in a net the whole time. They told me that it was keeping their kid up at night, that they were asking for some medicine to help it go to sleep. They were in a real rush. They didn't really let me run the tests. I did a quick exam of it. It seemed okay. They wouldn't let me touch it. They claimed the beetle had anxiety or something. I thought it was weird, but we get a lot of weird tourists and guests here, and it was a beetle.
The beetle did not belong to them.
She sighs. It's like, "I had no idea. I'm really sorry. I gave him the medication to make the beetle sleep, and they left. It was a tall man. He wore a lot of clothes, and he had like a face mask on. I'm afraid I can't really tell you much about what he looked like. Honestly, he looked a lot like one of those tourist guys out there."
Can you describe the face mask?
It kind of looked like one of those leaves, like from the swampy August swamp people. They sometimes they're a little under the weather or just waking up. They'll wrap a leaf around their mouths, like nose and face. That's kind of used as a face mask. I have no idea how they breathe, but they must get something out of it. But at first I thought it looked like Earth Kingdom cloth, but no, I think it was a leaf. They did mention they had to get back to their kid, that they were in the woods. They did drop this before they left. And Timma looks around at her pockets for a moment and gives you guys a cloth. No, a piece of paper, I should say. And the piece of paper looks like a map that this guy dropped. Peony and Pearl, you know this place in the woods. It's where a lot of like dead hollow trees are.
So the twins take the map. They take a look at it. "Hey, I know this place. We used to go here with our family all the time, back when we were really little."
Have the twins, approached the rest of the group, finally, to take a look at the map?
I'm presuming so,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. I figured they would have to as well. I just wanted to point it out because it would be the first moment that they've approached Sabi.
I'm imagining they are on the Hanako side.
Yeah.
They're not snuggled up next to Sabi, but yes, they're hovering over the desk with this map.
Well, that's great news. Hanako looks up to the vet and says, "You've been a big help, thank you."
That gives Flash you a big smile. I am so glad I could help with this.
Thank you.
I hope you guys find this beetle. This could be really bad if it gets into forest.
Well, it looks like that's where they're going, so...
We'll get it taken care of. You've put us hot on the trail. Thank you again.
You guys up for a hike?
You know the way.
So yeah, the twins are going to lead... Is Auntie Nia still with us? Did she just stay on the boat?
I think we lost her on the boat, maybe a little bit on purpose.
Yeah. That sounds
I think
reasonable.
after you guys, I think the boat went off. Actually, hold on. No, after Hoomer was the receptionist for you guys at the vet, you saw him leave and take off his name tag and leave and go and put on his tour guide name tag and go off on the boat. So Auntie Nia is now off on... accidentally got left on the boat and is now on the boat tour. That's like a 2-hour tour.
Accidentally on purpose.
So, yeah, so you lost Auntie Nia for a good little while.
Alright, so yeah, Peony and Pearl are going to lead the four of us
hike.
into the woods.
Hanako is up front with Peony and Pearl, and as we're going, we're kind of talking in hushed tones to ourselves. Periodically, one of us will look back at Sabi and the whole group will giggle.
I wonder if the guy with the beetle is actually Hoomer.
Oh.
If we have to fight Hoomer for this beetle, this is gonna make this trip. This is gonna be so worth it.
I want nothing more than to have a really big fight with Hoomer.
He moves so slowly. Like we could just throw sand in his eyes and he'd never move again.
Hoomer is a fucking legendary NPC.
Hoomer deserves a raise.
I want nothing more than to pick Hoomer up by the scruff and bring him back to Republic City with me.
Is he gonna be your new butler? You never get anything done.
I would pay Hoomer so much more than my last butler to do so much less.
Gotta leave some Hoomer for us. Take him back to our village, put him on a fishing boat, see what happens.
Of course, yes.
The three of us just keep exchanging Hoomer jokes. So, yeah, we find, or Peony and Pearl make the group's way to where we remembered these dead trees to be. What do we find there?
Sabi and Hanako, to you guys, this looks like a forgotten piece of forest. There's logs with mushrooms growing on them. There's trees at odd angles. There's nothing with leaves here. There's really big trees. There's really skinny ones. There's just a mishmash. Peony and Pearl, what you guys see is, well, an old training ground. You remember being here with Auntie Nia as really little kids just starting to learn how to earthbend, just lifting little pebbles. And what made this place so great was that there was so much rock around that, and so many different types of minerals that you guys really were able to, slowly accumulate from denser pure rock to less ones. You remember, you see the trees they still have marks for where you pelted pebbles at them using new moves. It's a dying piece of forest, but it's also the memory. I think for you guys, on one hand, you remember having a really good time here with family, but I think it's also bitter because that family's not really there anymore. Not the way you remember it.
Peony goes up to one of those marks on the tree, traces her finger on it, and is like, remember when we kept trying to chuck rocks at each other? Kept missing? One of them hit Dad right in the middle of the forehead? Yeah, I do. God. Back when we used to earthbend like earthbenders.
That sounds insane to me. The idea that you used to do that.
I mean, our dad initially taught us. And yeah, Auntie Nia did help a little bit too. But yeah, then when he died, honestly, we didn't have a teacher anymore. So we had to pick up what we could from where we could.
While they're having this conversation, Sabi is just kind of like walking around, like looking at the environment. Is there anything that like stands out as unusual, like anything that's been recently disturbed or evidence that someone's been here, anything like that?
Roll for me. Yeah, assess the situation.
Oh yeah, that's a 10 plus 3. That's a 13.
You know, despite what Dr. Tima told you, you don't see any recent disturbances in the dirt. At least not human. You look at it looks really faint. You look closer. Like maybe you even go down on all fours and you look at some areas that look just slightly disturbed. Like if you blinked, you'd miss it. And you see that they're animal tracks. And not the beetle tracks, but it's just different types of animals and animals that don't really belong in the Earth Kingdom. And you see that these tracks go to this particularly big tree, like this particularly big dead tree. It's the straightest tree in this whole area. Like it could be a normal tree if it had leaves, and it's really thick, like 3 people across thick, which is really unusual. And it has all these weird knobs and curls. And what's weird to you is that you see that these disturbances, these animal things, stop very suddenly at this tree. Like they went into the tree.
I'd like to go up and like put a hand on the tree, and using Sabi's earthbending, is it a tree like wood, or does it feel like there's rock or metal or other non-wood materials? Because like an earthbender can't sense wood, but like, is there something else going on here?
Interestingly to you, when you sense this tree, when you try to do this around this, you don't feel anything in the tree, but there's something weird in the ground underneath it. Like you feel that just like by being in that area. There's no dirt underneath the tree itself, as though you knock on the tree.
Sure, yeah. I'm poking around it. I'm seeing if anything seems off about it.
Okay. It feels a lot thinner than it should. Like it's hollow.
When you're done giving me information about this, I'm going to walk over to Hanako and Peony and Pearl.
I'd say that. So what appears to be is that ultimately you've deduced that like there's animal traps that stop at the tree seems hollow, and there doesn't seem to be any dirt directly underneath the tree.
All right, I think that's about as much as Sabi at her level of skill would be able to ascertain.
We do have some more skilled earthbenders on hand.
I'm going to walk over to the 3 others. Hey, Hanako, remember we said that we'd communicate what we were doing more?
What a funny thing to say in front of the twins.
This is said low, but they could probably hear it.
Yes.
There's something that tree over there's something wrong with it.
Wrong how?
There's animal tracks leading up to it that just dead end, and Sabi like kind of glances sideways at the twins and then leans in and in a whisper so that they cannot hear, I can sense something hollow below it, but I'm not good enough at that to figure out exactly what's going on, but there's something underneath the tree.
I'm gonna walk over, and I think I saw Sabi knock on the tree earlier, and I'm gonna also do that just to get a sense for what the difference in feeling is. And then I'm going to turn to Peony and Pearl and say, could you 2 come over here for a second?
Uh-huh. What's up?
Hanako squints at the tree and looks sideways and then just kind of knocks on it again. Does something about that feel weird to you?
I don't know, maybe. Peony puts her ear up to the tree while Pearl sort of puts her hand to the ground. While Peony's knocking on the tree branch, Pearl's eyes shoot open. Chrissy, what does Peony, or what does Pearl feel, since she is more attuned to earthbending than Sabi?
Underneath this tree seems to be a cave with a path that leads out in the direction towards the lake, all underground. And it seems to be the only way to get to this cave is through the tree.
There's a secret tunnel under here.
Oh, if only Chong were here.
And the weirdest thing to you is that this thing feels naturally formed. Like no one bent this. This thing just, like something outside of bending made this.
Hanako sighs and says, of course, there's a treasure down there, so some earthbenders bend a secret tunnel. It's all coming together.
It's not bent.
What?
It's naturally formed. I don't know if it's from animals burrowing here or from, like, I don't know, just the natural formations of the area, but this is a weird path. Like, I've never noticed an animal burrow that goes this long and this deep.
I have a lore question. Okay, so dragons, obviously quite rare, right? Zuko had to undergo a whole fucking quest to meet some. Are badger moles equivalently rare?
I feel like they are less rare, but still pretty rare.
Also, they are canonically earthbenders.
Yeah,
so I feel like
I wasn't
their
sure how that would
tunnels
count.
would feel like earthbending, right?
Yeah. Hanako will still pitch the badger mole thing, just because, she's thinking.
I've never seen a badger mole in this area. Huh.
Hanako shrugs and then points out to the lake and says, there was a legendary feat of earthbending.
That's true. And Peony turns to Pearl. I fucking told you! You didn't tell me shit! And the two of them start like...
Now, we don't know that it was a badger mole. And then Hanako goes to stand next to Peony and says, but it could be.
Question. Is this tunnel big enough for a person to fit in?
Yeah, this thing's actually really big. You guys could walk through it standing up.
You guys want to follow the tunnel?
Oh, absolutely, I want to follow the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm curious about all these animal tracks that seem to lead in here. They're not native animals. None of them are.
Is it possible for you to sense if someone is down there currently?
Is it, Chrissy?
I mean, seismic earthbending allowed Toph to be able to sense people.
Mm-hmm.
Can Peony and Pearl do that?
Yeah. Her bending is highly specialized for that. Maybe let them
that's what I'm
for
thinking.
It.
Maybe to push your luck.
Oh, nice. Okay, that is a 9 plus 1. That's a 10.
That's a high success.
Yeah, that's a high success. Yeah, you're able to tell if anything's down there. Do you both do it or just one of you?
Both.
Okay. How does that look?
The both of us stick our hands on the ground and one ear to the ground.
Okay. I think you guys put your ears and you're listening, and you put these waves of your own energy into the soil and try to have it focus through the cave. And directly under you, and for the first portion of the tunnel, you don't hear any people. But further in the tunnel, you hear sounds. You feel motion. And it's something big. And it's something further that the tunnel goes under the lake. And you feel the waves go to the end. And you feel this heavy, heavy presence. And it moves in such an odd way. Nothing like that a land animal should that you think of. The waves travel back, and it's much farther than you think. It's a long walk from here to the lake. And they bounce back, and you feel all like the nooks and crannies of the tunnel. And you feel them bounce up the tree. And you feel which nook of the tree is the nook to hit to open it. And then it's done. The waves are gone. I think you both have the fear status because there's something down there, and it's big, and it's scary, and you don't know what it is.
Guys, I don't know if we should go down there.
Why not?
There is something down there. And it's huge. You're gonna kill me. It's like a really big one. We don't know what's down there. I don't know if we should check it out.
Now, I understand if the two of you say no to this, but do you mind if I get my Sabi's opinion?
That little slip-up didn't miss Peony and Pearl. Yeah, fine. Whatever, but I don't know if you should go down there. I mean, it's you can fit, but it's not a large tunnel. What if you have to firebend? That's not... And there's things down there. Living things. I don't know if that's the best place to have to defend yourself.
If things go south, you can close the tunnel off in front of us.
Fair enough. But what if there's other living things on the other side of the tunnel? I don't know if I could do that. Like, if this tunnel is full of just random animals, who are we to shut off the tunnel and keep them all from escaping?
This genuinely had not occurred to Hanako. And she puts a finger to her chin and thinks, you make a compelling argument. Maybe. How deep is the tunnel? Could you bend us down there?
Oh, well, we could get down there from this tree entrance. Just gotta open this here, and so the two of them go over to the tree and find the place that they found out was the entrance and sort of pulled it apart. We can just go down through here. We don't have to bend down there.
Yes, but if the concern is us getting caught down there and unable to defend ourselves, and you can feel which way the tunnel is going, why do we need to go down there now?
We shouldn't risk destabilizing it like that.
Sabi?
Sabi's like kind of like looking back and forth between everyone, and looks like she's thinking about what to do. I think we should check it out. This is really weird. There's a lot of animal tracks here. None of them belong here, and there's something big down there. If it's too much to handle, we'll leave. We'll run away and figure out what to do next.
You two are the first ones out.
Okay. Deal. We'll go, just... We need to be careful. So, Peony and Pearl peel the tree apart more to let everybody through, and I guess we're all going in.
Hold on.
Oh.
As you're peeling open the tree, you hear from a little distance away, well, what do we have here? And the four of you look up, and you see one of the trios of treasure hunters that were in town. And this particular group happens to be a trio of boggy swamp people. And they have their animal of choice is a cat gator. It's a big, bullish one, like really fat middle. Looks at you, growls, and it's 3 guys in traditional foggy swamp gear. And they all have foggy swamp leaves wrapped around their mouths. And the one that called out to you, like a stout man, he lowers his leaf and looks at you guys very cockily and goes like, see, I told you, bro. I told you that these here guys knew what they was doing and would lead us to the path to the treasure. And Ro, a tall, skinny guy, looks at the stouter guy and goes, You know what, Ree? You know what? You had a good point there. You said to me that these guys looked like some smart fellas, and look at them!
Hanako looks around the entire group and says, I don't think any of us are fellas. I know that's not the point here, but...
Fellers, gals, doesn't matter. You've done what we needed you to do. You've led the way. We ain't no earthbenders, but we sure as heck are some dang good treasure hunters. And you've helped us hunt a pretty good way to get under that dang boulder over there in the lake. So if you all don't mind just stepping aside and maybe not following us or telling anyone else about this, you'll do just fine.
Sabi looks like she's having a moment where she's very much considering telling them to just fucking go for it because there's something that seems big and dangerous down there. But then you see her walk up towards them and once again reaches into her coat and flashes her ID very quickly. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. My name is Chief Engineer Sabi from the Earth Kingdom Royal Engineering Corps, and I'm afraid we've had some reports of very unstable seismic activity in this area, and that tunnel is extremely dangerous. I would strongly recommend that you not enter it.
The short one, spits to the side and go, Now look here!
Man, you're not even going to have me roll the trick on that?
You know what? Sure, I will have you roll the trick on that because these are some country bumpkins.
That's a 9. I'm going to say they overcommit. They're deceived for some time.
Okay. Ree still spits, and he goes, Engineer Waters?
Chief Engineer, the Royal Corps of Engineers, we're responsible for the safety of mines, tunnels, construction sites, that kind of thing.
Holy cow! And he elbows Ree. He elbows Ro, I'm sorry. Ro, you said that! They here's got from royalties! Whoa, like a person with a crown and responsibilities? Yeah, man!
We're commissioned by the crown, but we aren't actually personally royalty. I'm sorry, Ari. You're familiar with how governments work.
Hanako nudges forward, and I'm going to mark insecure to use Bonzu Pippin Padaloxopolis.
Yes!
And say, why, yes, as a matter of fact, I do declare I am the Earth Princess here on official duties.
Sabi starts to say something, stops, looks at Hanako, and fully commits to this.
Peony and Pearl each grab a large leaf from the ground, and start fanning Hanako.
Oh, yes.
To add to the bit.
Yes, gentlemen, that is correct. The princess here has been...
They bow even deeper.
has been personally examining sites throughout the kingdom, and unfortunately this tunnel is extremely dangerous. We believe that there is something in there that might pose fatal danger to anyone who enters.
They're still bowing. They need to be told to stop.
You may rise.
They take a knee and look at you like you're a goddess.
Now, I can assure... Hanako looks at the three of them with a withering look that Sabi hasn't seen on her since she, cut off relations with her mother. I can assure the three of you that we're not here for any treasure. I don't know what I would do with it, frankly. I have too much as it is. Oh.
They nod enthusiastically, like, yep, that totally makes sense. She's a princess. She'd have a lot of money.
You can come back once we finish up here, I promise.
They bow again profusely, go like, well, thank you, Your Highness. We are not worthy of your gracious aura and looks and all your beautification. And even their cat gator is bowing to you.
Now, I tire of these shenanigans. Begone!
And they give you one last massive bow, bowing so deep they're leaving impressions in the dirt. And then they're off!
Before they go, Peony steps forward and, in the fakest accent she can muster, she says, "Oh, and before you go, Our Highness has some questions about a possible invasive species in the area."
They look at you like you grew two heads, but
yes.
but like with still like a respectful confusion. Like they respect you, but they have no idea what you're talking about.
Chief Engineer, put this in terms they can understand.
Have you, by any chance, recently seen a really big beetle?
It takes everything Hanako has not to do the bit right now. But she motions
Peony
at
and Pearl
Pearl.
look at each other in unison and say at the same time, "Like a really big one."
So the three of them look at each other, confused, and then tentatively look back at you, and the tall, skinny one, Ree, says, "We like bugs a lot back from the old swamp, but, Beetle." And Ro looks at Ree and goes like, "Ree, I haven't seen any beetles or whatnot at the princess and her, courtiers here is suggesting."
Oh, I should have known that these simpletons wouldn't have known a specimen of Barkificus buggus if it bit them in the face.
Hey, I this isn't really something I can do role playing because it's just Sabi observing. But I want to use I'm a people person to roll with focus and find out if they're lying or not. That's a 10. Okay, I get to ask 2 questions.
Okay.
Are they lying? I'm just like observing them talking. Are they lying about not knowing where the beetle is?
They are not lying.
Okay. I don't need the second one. I'll toss it.
Engineer, are we done here?
Sabi like bows to Hanako. Yes, Your Majesty. I believe that we are done here.
I tire, be gone, you know the deal.
They give you...
The twins say in harmonic unison, "Be gone, peasants!"
They give... The Foggy Swamp Trio gives you a massive bow, including the cat gator, and then they are off. And they go back to town, having been blessed with the presence of royalty.
Hanako shoots a wink to Sabi and says, "You see what happens when you let me work my magic."
Pearl turns to Hanako and says, "Want to go back to that Foggy Swamp place when we get back to the city? I could really go for some cat gator after that."
Absolutely. Much agreed. Yes. In fact, Sabi, another time, not the same time, but another time, you, me, you're trying it.
I would love to.
Okay then. Shall we descend? Thank you for listening to Moment of Balance. This episode featured Janiyah Riley as Sabi, Chrissy Sylvia as our GM, Domi Carmia as Hanako, and Anna Marcus as Peony, Pearl, and our producer. The music for this episode was written by Anna Marcus. This episode was edited by Domi Carmia and Anna Marcus. If you liked what you heard, you could support us on Patreon at patreon.com/badrep. Huge thanks to our patrons: Janiyah Riley, Saturn Nieves, Warren Kelly, Veer, Rowan Parker, Melanie Archer, KK, Marty Balmer, and Paul Kinter. Moment of Balance is produced by Bad Rep Productions and is part of the Bard Rock Network. Check out Bad Rep's other shows at badrep.productions and Bard Rock's other shows at bardrockcafe.com. Bard Rock Network is sponsored by Dragon Master Games at dragonmastergames.com. And remember, be careful not to puff yourself up too much. Pride has a tendency to pop when too big.